And then Trovo, bam. And then Facebook is the weird one. Facebook takes a little bit of extra steps. I have to click one other thing. And then I also have to grab one other thing. But we're kind of getting the process down. We're getting the process down so it's not quite as much of a hullabaloo. Getting these things coordinated. Make sure to pop out the chat so I can get the URL. Yeah, the last thing is to make sure I get the updated URL for the chat window. That is the last piece of the puzzle. Apply and close, and we're Gucci. All right, cool. It's that simple. That simple. Yeah, the multi-streaming thing's a little bit weird to first set up, but thankfully we're pros at this now, so it's easy peasy. Easy peasy. Open it up when you ran into the guy and died. Yeah, because like, so that's what makes it tricky about that challenge. Like sometimes you can see like from far away when a dare drop challenge is about to be completed. Like you can usually kind of tell like if the challenges beat the game. You can sometimes tell even if you haven't played the game before. You can sometimes get a hint for how long a game might be or when the final boss is coming up. So you can kind of like gauge ahead of time. Or if there's like, yeah, beat this one level or beat it on this difficulty. Usually when it's more concise, like a more concise, discrete, predictable challenge, you can kind of plan ahead. But in this particular case, yeah, it was like, you have to have, what was it? It was the struggling artist or mail day entries run the way that you wanted to. You have to have the encounter, pick the right selection, and in some cases luck your way into the right outcome, and then have a few other things happen, and then follow the right steps, and then you have to survive the encounter with him. He's a tough encounter. So yeah, it was like, I don't know, in hindsight, yeah, I should have maybe opened it a little bit sooner, because it meant that only a few people could participate. So that that's just something I need to be aware of, obviously. But lessons learned and such. Lessons learned. Did I have a one to continue? I don't think I did. I think we died at the end of last time. So, what I think I will do is I'll probably just do quick play. I mean, the challenges, there are still other challenges to try, but the problem is I've never even completed a quick play. We've only completed the extracurricular activity. I want like a regular vanilla win, although the one thing I will say is I want to try Timeline B, because it's Halloween. Standard is fine, but Halloween times are upon us. It's very appropriate that we go for this one, so I say let's try for that. Quick play for sure, which selects a random deity and a random character, and like any other random modifiers, that kind of thing. Requirement to be in the Discord. I thought about that too, but of course not everybody has Discord, and for those that have Discord, they don't, necessarily want to be shoehorned into joining a Discord server for, some scrubby little Twitch streamer. Like, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I thought about that, like maybe have it be Discord only, or maybe have, but like maybe raise the channel point requirement to be higher or something. But I don't know, like 500 is for me, that's a decent number because it means somebody has to follow and then watch for like an hour or two, or watch for a few hours. Not that hard to get a couple hundred channel points from just watching somebody in general. But yeah, trying to find a way that definitely rewards some amount of viewership without requiring it be too much, and definitely not requiring money. I don't want to make it subscriber only, because I don't know, I feel like that's kind of excluding others. So it's a tricky one for sure. I don't know if we've seen this one before, actually. People with supernatural skills. Stars disappearing from the night sky, they say. Casting spells raises the doom level instead of the normal cost, which is nice, but also not nice. That's a trade-off for sure. Yeah, it could do 5 entries. Yeah, that's the thing too, is that, for not making it a relatively even field, hopefully, for people that have been here for years versus people who have only been here for, maybe a total of a couple of hours or a few streams worth. Because, like, yeah, I know people that have, like, hundreds of thousands of channel points, And it would feel a little weird for them to like tip the scale super hard in their favor, unless I limit it to maybe 3 per person max, or 5, or 10 or something like that. But like, I don't know, even then, I don't know. I like the idea of it being like everyone has like the same general chance. Character exclusive perks cards only, they say. Now it's our photographer friend, which is good because he starts with the camera. We love that thing. That thing is great. And medical history. This is the 3rd time in a row that we have started with this modifier. It makes me wonder, are there other modifiers? Are there other modifiers? Like, is that the only one where our guys take now more injuries, but we start with a medical kit? I don't know. It's a weird one. Yeah, maybe higher channel points. Yeah, I've thought about it. Maybe raising it to 1,000. Yeah, 500 is not much. And exactly, 300 you get just from following. I don't know what the exact metric is, but I think it's something like you get like 10 channel points for watching for 10 minutes or something. Or maybe it's 20 for watching 10 minutes. Like, you can get 200 channel points for a stream you're watching in an hour or two, probably. Win with a modifier to unlock the next. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is just how it is, man. And you get the bonus one you can click. Exactly. Exactly. And you don't even have to have the stream like actively selected. You just have to have it not muted. And I think you can have up to 3 or maybe it's 5 Twitch tabs open. So there are ways, of course, to like earn those channel points without having to be like eyes on the screen the whole time, even if you're not an active chatter. So it doesn't matter. Like, there are people that have entered into our giveaways that have never chatted. That's fine. It's not a requirement. We love the lurkers here. Like, we're happy to have the lurkers in any capacity. But yeah, to me, it's kind of a balancing act. It's a balancing act of, like I was saying earlier, like, you know, knowing kind of when to open the raffles, a matter of how much to balance the cost of the channel points, how much to favor people that are here regularly, but also still trying to make it not insurmountable to newbies. You know, if someone joins in, they see it's like 3,000 channel points, they go, whoa, I'm not watching this guy for that long. You get a chance at a Steam key, fuck that, and they're out of there, right? Like, I want it to be reachable, but not like, so that somebody can grab, snipe the key and fuck off forever and just never give a shit about, what we're doing here, obviously. Yeah, 1.5 hours. Yeah, if you're not subscribed, yeah, which is, I think, reasonable. I think that's reasonable. Could pop out the chat. Oh, no, I didn't realize that was an option. I think it's about 2 tabs, maybe. Interesting. Yeah, 100% agreed, Anthony. Yeah. Lurkers are the lifeblood of so many streams, mine included. It's great. I've like had people. Thankfully, this is rarely a problem here, but I've seen people in other channels where someone might be like, "Whoa, the chat's kind of dead tonight," and someone else would quickly say, "That's fine. It doesn't have to be popping. As long as there's like people here that are just vibing, like, chat activity is not a requirement." And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that that people quickly corrected that and were like, no, that's not a bad thing. It's okay for things to be chilled. And I can tell you, as a streamer, there are times where I think to myself, like, man, I'm fucking tired. I'm beat. Like, I don't have a lot in me for like a ton of chat interaction. Sometimes you want a real chill night. So just how it goes. By the way, we got Enigma out there on YouTube. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Fell asleep only like a half hour before the challenge last night, Jamie. Yeah. No, I feel bad. I should have opened that up sooner, because yeah, then Jamie would have been able to participate. Stream link is a thing. We can link Twitch. Oh, that's cool. Into a media playthrough command line. Interesting. Oh, okay, it's Stopman. Yeah, Stopman was hanging out the other day, and they got a new username. Enigma says, new username, who dis? Good to see you, bud. By the way, the city is changing. Can barely recognize it anymore. Choose up to 2 different additional actions per location for this playthrough. Look at this. Interesting. So a new, maybe this is another modifier or something. So up to 2 additional actions per location. So shop for items, go to the police station, do the vending machine. Okay, so you can select. Okay. Randomize and continue. Is there like just a randomize option? Huh, okay. So it's two, wait, it says 2 additional actions per location. Oh, but vending machine was not a thing. Oh, I see. So we've unlocked new things, new actions then. Because yeah, hardware shop I don't think was a thing. Well, actually maybe it was. Yeah, neighbor was a thing already. Now, Forest has this ominous void. That's a little bit fucked up. But yeah, hardware shop, I don't think I recognize. Oh, we can do the pharmacy now. There it is. We couldn't find the pharmacy last time, but now we can. The screen of death. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's good. That's very helpful, Jamie. I do appreciate that. The info about that. I guess they don't do the purple screen of death thing as much because I haven't heard about it in a long time. I don't use ad block, so it never affected me personally, but it definitely affected viewers that we had. And of course, you know, viewers were being alienated by it. You know, some people said, fuck this, I'm not watching Twitch anymore. So I'm hoping that was a sign that Twitch kind of backed off from being quite so aggressive about that whole situation. It's just something else. It's just something else. Yeah, the ominous void. We have a few of those. We definitely want shop for items. And I don't know, we never try the police station, so the shop for items is great. Vending machine could be nice. I'm assuming that means, yeah, consistent pool of items, drinks, and snacks. I'm assuming that's like affordable things, whereas shop for items can sometimes be expensive. So, I think that sounds good. We'll save, and then we'll confirm. So, we got a spell, we of course got our camera, our medical kit, and our discharge summary. So, a few things. We already looked at the medical kit. I will take a look at the spell. It is called Memory Extract, and it heals. It heals our brain specifically, so it takes out the bad brain juice, and it costs experience or raises the doom counter in this game. Man, this spell looks amazing, actually. The spell looks absolutely amazing. It's a shame that it now adds to the doom counter. I would use this all the time in a regular run because experience, I mean, it's useful and we need experience to level up, but there are times where I don't need it as much. Testing this does not cost reason. Oh wow, that's awesome. That is super good. Oh, never mind, it's not good. That's the thing where they're saying it adds to the doom counter. I see what they're saying. Still, that's pretty slick. Discharge summary, let's go ahead and use that. Speaking of getting experience, we discard this, we get 20 experience right from the get-go. There it is, 20 experience out of 100. And then, no water bottle for us this time, unfortunately. But if I take a bath, we will get a small experience boost up to 25. Love to see it. Love to see it. Learning from YouTube's mistakes. Yeah, a lot of us remember what they called the adpocalypse for YouTube way back in the day, like 2013, 2014. I mean, it's tricky because YouTube for a long time has had a pretty good way of dealing with ads where they just show you the ad counter, or they show you the ad. You have to sit through maybe 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, or you get the 5-second skip button, and then you're not, well, maybe for longer videos you might have mid-roll ads, but even still, they're usually pretty short, and that was like a decent middle ground for a long time. Up until they started getting super aggressive against ad block and introducing anti-ad block measures, now they are incurring the wrath of some of their viewers, and it is frustrating for a lot of folks, for good reason. For good reasons. It's like a cat and mouse game, or like an arms race, I guess, between ad blockers and YouTube anti-ad blocking solutions. So it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing for sure. Only watch 3 ads. Yeah, we were talking about the other day, even if you don't watch the videos, like even if you just click into the videos, it still counts and it's still bullshit. Is there chat delay, Enigma? I mean, there probably is. Part of it is that I'm just slow to read chat sometimes. Sometimes I fall behind. Bad brain juices TikTok. I mean, Sometimes, yes. For me, it's just general internet use. Sometimes internet use gives my brain the bad juice, unfortunately. That's a good point, too, though. Flashay points out it's not necessarily a thing for everybody yet, but it probably will be rolled out for most users eventually. Yeah. So spell doesn't have any reason cost. I think what it comes down to is that this is the god we are working up against. Ath-Yol, how do you pronounce that? Ath-Yolzazth? That's the name of the god we're up against. So if we go back to spells, we check this thing. It says Ath-Yolzath's gaze. So I think what this is getting at is when you see this little indicator, that means it doesn't cost reason, but it instead costs doom. Casting spells raises doom percentage. Somebody asked, what is the doom percentage? It's like it's just a measure of the god that we're up against, the evil god's progress in taking over the world, and when it reaches 100, you die. Like the world ends and you lose. So that's it's you're kind of trading one poison for the other, because if your reason goes down to 0, then you're fucked. So if you go insane, of course you can build your reason back with spells and items and healing items and some encounters. You can cure the doom counter by a little bit sometimes, but there's not a ton of opportunities. It's easier to cure the reason counter than it is to cure the doom counter. So yeah, that's kind of the situation. YouTube is what convinced me to get ad block. Yeah, I mean YouTube, Twitch, those are some of the worst, you know, purveyors of ads, because it gets right into the video player. You can't skip around it. I mean, at least with YouTube, again, sometimes you get the skip button, but even still, the anti-ad block measures are frustrating, to say the least. Absolutely. And then then this fad block, right, which we did hear about, which does sound nice. So it counts as the ad being run, but it's super speeded up. That sounds like a pretty good middle ground, I hope, at least. So that is the hope. Not caring about infects people otherwise, yeah. Yeah, it's a weird situation. Similar to Arkham Horror, exactly, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of the situation with the ad, like the whole ad thing. You can get the extra monies, of course, extra funsies, funsies for fundsies, of course. Stick with the default outfit, looking good, Hollywood. I've seen the last stream. Well, let's see. You mean with how things went in general? Because yeah, we didn't get got by the doom counter. We got by the reason counter going dead. Oh, you mean how like we had that goofy glitch at the end last time? Because both counters went below 0, and then we had that weird bug state where we were dead, but not dead yet, and then we died like a second time. It was very silly. And nothing in storage. And check the people. I guess as always, there's the 2 eyes lurking. Always. Oh, not always, but frequently. That is lurking in the background, always being creepy. Anything on the telly? It's a cooking show, someone's making an octopus, and there's too many legs. Too many legs. Don't think the fad block thing is a middle ground. I mean, it definitely isn't for YouTube. I just mean it's when I guess, yeah, maybe middle ground isn't the good word for it, but it's a compromise that, well, not even compromise. It's a workaround. Maybe that's a better word. It's a workaround to get around the ad block thing. That yeah. I mean, it does screw over advertisers technically, which I'm not bothered by. I don't exactly have a lot of yeah, I'm not like over here thinking like, oh, those poor advertisers. Like, I don't have a ton of sympathy necessarily, but I mean, yeah, it does cut in their bottom line, because at the end of the day, these series of systems and platforms need to be profitable, or at least not too unprofitable for them to make sense. Because yeah, if YouTube costs Google too much money, they're not bringing in enough ad revenue, it could cut into Google's support for YouTube, and at some point, if they say it's not worth it, then they could always pull the plug. So I mean, yes, at the end of the day, there is some degree of I get it. Like there is some degree of yes, I know these things need to. It's a business, right? Like they have to end up in some kind of system where you know the higher ups are making money, and that's just, you know, how it is, you know, capitalism, right? Oh boy. But I don't know, I like to think that there must be some kind of approach that says, you know, that says the ad revenue stuff is important, and we want to encourage people not using ad blockers, that kind of thing, but maybe not quite so go gung-ho chasing ad blocking users, people who use ad blocks, especially with this whole 3 video solution. It's, to me, it seems like they're swinging too hard and painting with too wide of a brush. So I like to think that a middle ground can be reached. And again, we were talking about the what they call it, the adpocalypse, where YouTube struggled with trying to find a middle ground that worked, and I like to think one was reached for a bit. So if this is another adpocalypse situation where YouTube is struggling between the top brass wants this and the viewers want this, and, you know, getting to that middle ground is tumultuous, then yeah, it might just be awkward for a bit, honestly. It really might be. The Nympho comparison, yeah. You're not wrong, honestly. You're not wrong. YouTube kind of brought it on themselves. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, they're the ones showing ads in the first place. The mid-roll ads, the pre-roll ads. But again, I also understand, because this shit's, it's got to make money for somebody, right? In order for this to all work out. Is this game an open world game? I wouldn't say it's an open world game. I see this game as a choose your own adventure game, like a point and click choose your own adventure game with roguelike vibes. That's what I would describe it. Yeah, Fad Block is better than Ad Nauseam. Went to the background and when the auto clicks right, which can give you mal. Ooh, that's no good. Yeah, I don't like that. The Twitch ads until last week, yeah. Not too much of a difference. That's good. I learned recently that if you subscribe, what does YouTube call it? Joining. If you join a YouTube channel, you still see ads for that channel. At least with Twitch, if like you get a gift sub or you subscribe yourself or you use a Prime Gaming sub on someone's channel, you don't get ads for that channel. Of course, if you wanted ads, if you wanted no ads on anyone's channel, you have to get Twitch Turbo. And for YouTube, it's YouTube Red or YouTube Premium, whatever it's called. So it's at least something though. Like if you watch 2 channels on Twitch and only 2 channels, just subscribe to those 2 channels and or one of them, and you know that's 50% of it right there. If you're on Amazon Prime, you get that Prime Gaming sub anyway. So like there are ways to make it more tolerable. I guess that's just kind of what comes down to. Like there's never a satisfactory solution to getting around ads that works, but it's like I have enough tools on Twitch that makes it tolerable, generally speaking. The profitability factor, it's called the Cobra effect video. Interesting. I've never heard of that one before. 4 minutes of ad, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely had that where I click into a video that's 12 seconds long and I have to watch a 15-second ad that is unskippable. It's like, this is stupid. That happens sometimes. That's stupid, yeah. Not too much of an issue for you, yeah. The main issue for a lot of people is it's the principle of the matter. And the other thing is that for people with like, you know, with maybe not the best internet, this might sound kind of silly, but ads are expensive because, you know, your computer has to download that information from the servers to display to the user, to the viewer, whether they be videos, whether they be image content, like that's stuff that you're having to download, and that means more bandwidth, which means more internet costs, and that can add up. Like, you know, you got somebody who's trying to pinch pennies, trying to make ends meet, and, you know, man, my internet bill is really high this month. What the fuck, man? Were my kids watching a lot of YouTube or stuff like that? It might sound silly, but that really can add up for some people. So ads can be expensive. There are cases where like ads can add like bloat to your C drive's temp folder just with the stuff that's getting downloaded from browsers. So I mean, I don't know if there's ever been cases where it's been legit adware or like spyware, but like definitely bloating up your temp folder for your C drive for your browsers. So it's like the principle of the matter. It's like, I don't want all this extra shit that's being forced upon me. It bums some people out, and I get that. It doesn't bother me quite as much personally. Like I'm kind of with, personally, I see what Enigma is getting at, where It's like, it's not that big of a deal. That's how I feel. It's not a big deal to me, but to others, it's, yeah, it's like a, you know, I didn't ask for this kind of thing. Yeah. In-ad videos for, yeah, there's the sponsorship stuff too. Yeah, exactly. There's, yeah, the in-ad sponsors, which you can sometimes skip past, but at the same time, it's like, well, I don't want to skip it because I want to support the viewer or the YouTuber. Mobile games, yeah, the mobile game ads are so fucking absurd. YouTube does not vet their stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are some very trashy ads that get on YouTube and Twitch for that matter too. Yeah. 30 seconds for a 2-second meme sometimes. Yeah, it's kind of silly sometimes. Yeah, set the autoplay, and then you get to, yeah, that's the danger of YouTube. You set YouTube autoplay on, you're gonna get pipelined into some wild shit. And sometimes that wild shit can be very unpleasant, and it's fucked up too, because sometimes it's like adjacent to stuff that's targeted for kids. It gets weird sometimes, man. It gets really weird. What's something else we could do with this school story? Because, yeah, this one we tried. In fact, yeah, let's do that one first. Well, no, let's not do that one first, because we won't be able to start with a weapon. Let's do one where we can buy a weapon. Here, festival, sailors, found footage, or the bulletin. Let's do this one. Let's do this one first, because I wanna be able to buy a weapon first. We'll be able to buy something at the festival. Buying ringtones, oh my gosh. Yeah, what's a 20-pound bill coming from, bud? Yeah, young Irasi. Yeah, I remember that shit where like in our case it was $3 USD, $3 would get you like a ringtone or like a callback tone or whatever it was called, whatever. Like, of course, ringtone is the music that we hear when someone calls us, but then there's like the callback tone or the ringback tone where as somebody is like calling you, instead of hearing the noise, they're hearing like music of your selection. So I remember that shit. Like $3 would get you one of those, and that of course added up, obviously. Not to worry too much about the financial implication. Yeah, and I don't have to worry too much either, because I've got a full-time job. It pays the bills. I'm married, so you know we have a dual income household, so we're doing fine. And I don't mind like a couple extra bones on our bill, on our our electricity bill or our internet bill, I guess. But again, it's more just what's it called? The principle of the matter, I think, for a lot of people. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. Maybe watch some shorts, and as you're flipping through it, you get some bullshit stuff. Exactly. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jamie. That shit makes my skin crawl. It's frustrating too, because like that shit's on the algorithm, right? Because people are clicking into it, and it's like, oh, people are clicking into it, so if this person's watching a popular thing, maybe they'll like this popular thing, and that popular thing is, yeah, fucking like extremely inoffensive and like unsavory bullshit that is unfortunately getting pipelined into a lot of kids. I mean, that was a huge problem for sure last year. I hope it's better now, but it's unfortunate. The ringtones kind of died off. Yeah, I mean, personally, I still use custom ringtones on my phone. I just, you know, manually upload, you know, music or like sound files to my phone and just kind of set the sound file to be, this is my notification noise, this is my ringtone. But yeah, for a lot of people, they just use the defaults, even though it's a lot easier to customize. It's just like, not gonna bother with it right now. I'm gonna not look for somebody who's waiting for me. We're just gonna jump right into this. The home phone to get to, oh man, yeah, a lot of us remember the Nintendo hotline. That was apparently part of why they made Nintendo games so hard back then. Part of it was because a lot of those games were just ported arcade games, and arcade games are of course designed to just devour quarters for maximum profitability. But yeah, there was a theory that says Nintendo hard NES games, which is to say games like Castlevania 2 that had solutions that were so out of this world, there was no way you had to have known to get the red ring and then crouch that one corner unless you dialed the Nintendo hotline, which charges you like $40 a minute or some shit. So it's absurd, but yeah, it's a very real phenomenon of how do we squeeze money out of these folks. It's weird how, as frustrating as the current times are now, it's weird how you see these trappings of them from years ago even. Thank you for complimenting my impressions of the phone noises. Thank you, Enigma. I appreciate that. It's worse on Twitter. Yeah, I've tried blocking people on Twitter, and it's like, you know, not like blocking people, but blocking accounts I just don't want clogging up my feed, and it still somehow manages to squeeze through. So yeah, it's very frustrating. Things in this generation. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Enigma. There's things about I'm in my mid-30s, right? There's things about my generation that frustrate me. And people that are older than me and younger than me, there's always things that frustrate me, but there's also things that give me hope. Like, there's things that young people are doing that gives me hope for the future. Same thing with people my age, same thing with people older. So I try to focus on the good. You know, I try to focus on the things that give me hope, but it's hard to sometimes. It really do be that way sometimes. No way you're gonna eat that, even though I did lose a bit of stamina. Yeah, we've done that encounter once before. We run out of that ghastly restaurant. Phone's always on vibrate anyway. That's understandable too. I would say that's the default for me in a lot of cases. But no, my ringtone is Bomberman. Bomberman music, specifically the level select theme. It's one of my favorites. So the level select theme from Bomberman 64 is my ringtone, and then the text tone is level completion in Bomberman 64. You'll never guess that Bomberman 64 is my favorite video game ever. My favoriteest video game. Let's buy a souvenir from the good boy, the good puppers. Nintendo created Rob the... That's right, so they could get past the whole situation where it needs to be sold as a toy. That's what Rob the Robot came in, and the gyroscope game, and yeah, or not gyroscope, but just gyro, I guess. Yeah, it was a weird situation back then, and I guess it kind of worked because it allowed them to establish more of a market presence. So yeah, it's wild how that works out, I suppose. We got the good boy, that's right. Generation is the worst in a while. It's hard to say, honestly. I mean, you know, you get people my age and older, you'll always hear people being like, "Meh, kids these days, meh," you know, kind of boo-hooing how their generation was the best, and kids these days just don't get it, but like, I don't know. I tend to kind of roll my eyes at those kind of generalizations because there's young people nowadays doing some really cool stuff. You know, activism for like good causes, and like being bold and fearless with fashion and gender presentation, and like stuff that my generation was kind of too conservative to really take on. So, you know, there's things that give me hope, but also things that frustrate me. So you take the good and the bad. That's just how it is. Have I ever streamed Bomberman 64? Not in a couple years. Last time I would have streamed it at all would have been my birthday 2 years ago, because we did an extra celebration stream where I played a bunch of Bomberman 64 ROM hacks. Just because, again, it's my favorite game, so we found some fun ROM hacks and played a bunch of them. That was pretty cool. Excuse me. So what do we got here? Faster spiritual actions, which I guess means spell casting. So that's, of course, raising our food. Or no, reason that's for sanity, never mind. Ritual mask. We've never seen this. You can cook it and eat it, which is fucked up. Huh. That's kind of strange, yeah. I don't know, not a lot of things really jump out at me. I mean, the jewelry would be nifty. The jewelry would be nifty because more luck sounds nice. 3 funds. It is expensive. We could re-roll, but that does cost some doom. Some doom and some gloom. Do I re-roll and up the doom counter? Because really, what I really want is a weapon. I really like to buy a weapon of some kind. But maybe if I have enough luck, maybe that's all I need in life. Alright, so that's good. Let us go ahead and explore the weird village, I suppose. Go ahead and do it. Some custom ringtones, though, yeah. Yeah, video game music, exactly. Some Nier Automata, some Chrono Cross. Yo, good choices, good choices. I don't know the Nier series quite as much, but the Chrono series has some amazing music in their soundtracks. Hearing it often can lose its luster. It hasn't been a problem for me, but I did wonder about that, Jamie, because like when I was a kid, I had this one alarm clock that made a very distinct noise when it was time to wake up, as an alarm, obviously. And the problem is the noise was similar to white noise, and it kind of gave me some anxiety where I would hear a noise kind of similar to it, like static on a TV, and I would like hear it, and as a Pavlovian response, I would like feel my blood pressure rise, or like I would feel my anxiety getting heightened a little bit, because it's like, oh, time to wake up. Well, I'm already awake, so I can't wake up more. So that, I understand your hesitancy, but thankfully it's yet to really be an issue, at least with the telephone stuff. I think it's because as an alarm is one thing, because when it's an alarm, you know, I don't want to wake up. I'm asleep. I'm comfortable. When it's a phone call, it's like, neutral. I mean, usually I just ignore it anyway, because who uses phone calls anyway? If it's a phone call, it's probably a telemarketer or some spam caller anyway. So it doesn't affect me too much. And if it's a text message, it's probably a friend. So usually a positive thing there. So yeah, it hasn't really been a problem for me specifically yet, at least. A lot of people consist of people you don't like. I mean, I understand how that goes. But you'll probably find Enigma that, like, you know, it's a matter of just like finding your peeps, you know, finding your homies and finding your circle. It just kind of happens inevitably. Because yeah, like there's definitely things that I don't really identify with when I look at my own peers in the grand scheme of things, but then I look at my friends who are my age and the people I surround myself with and the people that I look up to that are my age, and yeah, it's like they're pretty freaking cool, in my extremely biased opinion. Nier is so good. Yeah, I've heard the games are quite good, but I haven't heard their soundtracks at all. A ritual, by the way, to appease a local demon imprisoned underground. Do we participate in the ritual or do we refuse? I will participate. And I will knowledgeably succeed. How about that? I will succeed. Oh, you're right. I gotta actually equip the damn things, don't I? Good call. Forgot about that. Now we have more luck. I'm kind of curious. Is there a way to remove them from my inventory? Or store them? Can I access my storage from here? I guess I can't right now. I want to see if there's any kind of indication of what our luck value is. Because I've frequently wondered that, like, what is our luck value? Because all these other stats are on the screen, but I guess luck is never displayed. Maybe on purpose. Maybe it's meant to be an unknown, invisible value, but it would be nice to get a hint of it sometimes. Just a summary of it, maybe. Jet says, I am pretty cool. And there you go. I do play games with Jet on the regular. Can confirm he's a cool lad. Yeah, some people are cool, but yeah, the big picture, yeah. I mean, part of that too, it can sometimes at least be just frustration with humanity. Lord knows I feel frustration with humanity. You know, I see the laissez-faire approach to climate change and like, you know, the human element in all of it, and there's a lot of people my age and older and younger that recognize it's a problem, but a lot of the people in charge say, not really our problem, right? Like a lot of the people in our, and you know, not to get political here, but in Congress and the people running the show, to them it's just, it's a problem, yeah, but it's hard and it's complicated, and all these big companies are giving me money to kind of turn a blind eye to it, so not my problem. And it's like, it's gonna be all of our people's problems soon, so what the fuck, man? Like, it's hard to not let the cynicism just seep in when shit like that's happening. So yeah, big picture, totally with you, man. That shit is fucking infuriating when there's just a just dismissal of real problems that are already showing their presence. Like, for a while there, we were talking about this just the other night, like, I have heard people of a, I'm not gonna get too preachy here, but of a particular political persuasion say, I don't care about climate change because I won't live long enough to feel the effects of it. Therefore, you know, burn all them fossil fuels, baby. I couldn't give a shit. And maybe that was a, you know, a legit viewpoint at one point, you know, sometime in the past, but we're already seeing the effects, bro. Like, it's here, it's happening. So, you know, we're feeling the effects. There's no matter of we can just avoid it or pretend it's not happening. Well, no, people do still pretend. But anyway, you know. Characters named after philosophers, ship a thesis. Hell yeah. Good shit. I really do want to try the series. In fact, Jet gifted me, Jet Dive, he gifted me one of the games in the series. I've heard it's amazing. I've heard the combat's amazing. I've heard the story is cool and the music is beautiful. And if we're being real, the character designs are delightful. And I even heard that one of the lead, or maybe the main guy that made the series, was like, no, I designed the characters to be sexy so that, like, cosplayers could, you know, have fun with that. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. One of my buddies once tried to sell somebody else on Nier Automata by saying, "Hey, do you like Bayonetta but feeling sad?" And I was like, "Do I? What a deal! What a concept, right?" Pay no attention to Twitter since 2016. Yeah, honestly, I was talking to some buddies not too long about that, ironically. Like, 2016 was, like, shit's always been kind of fucked in various ways. Like, I know a lot of us have a starry eye view of the 90s and the early 2000s. And yeah, relatively speaking, I guess things were quieter than they are now. But things were still fucky in different ways, right? Things were definitely fucky in the 70s and the 80s. And there was definitely shit going on in the 90s, no doubt about it. So there was always stuff going on. But yeah, 2016 was kind of like the point beyond which everybody looked around and we went, "Oh my fucking god, what happened? Holy shit." So yeah, I could not agree more, Rossi. It's like there comes a point where you have to be like, you know what? I'm checking out, man. It's for my own health, man. It's safe. Platinum Games, good shit. It was a compromise. They wanted big. That's awesome. There you go. Gave her. I mean, she's generous in that department. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. And yeah, I heard that the character designer had ambitions. The economic crash. Oh yeah. 100% with you there, Lime. The news ramped up hardcore. Yeah. My away from stress zone, and it got hard. It got hard to avoid that, Irasi. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and it really hasn't gotten any better. As somebody who still tries to keep up with some amount of news cycles and some amount of social media use, partly because, you know, I'm a person on the internet. I'm a person that is trying to build up a stream. Therefore, I, you know, need to have some kind of presence on these platforms. It makes it hard to avoid. And yeah, you know, I look around and I go, it's one of these. Like, oh, this is a spicy one, isn't it? And yeah, it's frustrating sometimes. The Big Short. I haven't seen that one. I've heard we're talking about the movie, right? The movie The Big Short, because I've heard it's good. And Alex, are you saying it's good because you're short and you like short things? Maybe. The events of the crash, yeah. And then there was the Gamergate thing. Oh my god, that was such a weird time. Cause yeah, that was like a litmus test for here's where things are going. It's gonna get weird, and it got weird, all right. What's up, Ogasso? It can turn weird. Yeah, I mean, I try not to shy away from it because you're right, it can get weird. But I also like to think that, you know, we can conduct these conversations well, and so far everyone's been fine here. You know, as a streamer, it's like, you know, I should try to, it's not like I have that much influence, obviously, but, you know, try to find opportunities to make it constructive and not, like, insulate myself from like, oh, sorry, this is my comfy ooh zone, no uncomfy topics for me, oh, I need my blankie. Like, I should try to find opportunities to take it on and, you know, not be afraid to discuss it, but sometimes it's hard to know what to say and what approaches to take to certain things. So it is tricky. He says, I was summoned. That's right. That's right. Jet's like, hey, I knew it. I knew it, man. Not always a bad thing. Yeah. There's a balance though. Like, you know, paying too much attention can just fucking wreck your shit. But paying not enough attention can, I don't know. I mean, I tell myself there's something virtuous about being somewhat informed and having your own opinions, but at the same time, you swing too hard and suddenly you kind of lose people, and you can lose yourself in it too. So it's a weird one. Yeah, it was a weird, the Gamergate thing was weird. There was like an aspect of it that was like, okay, yes, there was like this movement within the whole Gamergate thing that said, hey, maybe journalistic integrity and acknowledging when there's a full disclosure that could have been necessary, you know, transparency when there's, you know, the potential for preferential treatment in certain situations with an interview or with a person that has this connection to this family member, or this person works for this person and their boss is this person's brother, and we didn't mention that in the interview, but maybe we should have, so we treated them kind of nice. Like, those kinds of full disclosure things, sure, that's fine. Striving for that is fine, but some people were using that as an excuse to harass female creators on Twitter and Instagram and their blogs, and it got weird and gross very quickly. And it painted gamers with a capital G in an extremely unflattering light. And yeah, it just kind of sent us down this weird path. It was a weird time, man. What's up, Meerkat? Working for a Chinese World of Warcraft gold farming factory. Oh my fucking game. What's weird, Elgas, is that I can't tell if any of that is a shitpost. I really can't. Serving sex. I would like to order 1 sex, Meerkat. Yeah, that's correct. You're correct. You're correct. Yeah. Now Lime has seen some of it too. Yeah, exactly. People would say it's about ethics in video game journalism when in reality, I mean, and again, I think for some of them at one point that was the desire, but then it took on a whole different approach and it got fucking weird and gross. That shit done got fucked. That is correct. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. Yeah, it was a weird time. Not a good time. The wedges aren't sexy enough. What if what if we're wedging something inside the potato, if you catch my drift? Wink. Winky face. 100% real. Life is stranger than fiction. I would have never fucking guessed, but I kind of, yeah, that shit's fucked, honestly. The special sauce, Rossi. Winky face. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jamie's got that's the summary, honestly. It's weird. Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there was like these like accused connections about preferential treatment in reviews and interviews that was disproven, but by the point it was disproven, it was too late, and it had blown up, and it had taken on a life of its own, and it made gamers a 4-letter word for a while. Like, people would be like, "Oh, Alex, you're a gamer, right?" And I'd be like, I don't like that label. That's a gross label right now. Like, even nowadays, you might even hear me say this. Like, I'll be playing a video game, and I'll be doing something cool, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm a gamer, you guys." Like I say it in earnest, because it's such like a stupid, I shouldn't say stupid, but it can be perceived as a stupid label in a lot of ways, and like, I kind of like ironically lean into that, like, "Yeah, I'm a gamer, you guys, I'm so cool," when in reality it became, and maybe even still is, like a I don't know if this is like a good label necessarily. Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't know the exact terminology, a lot of us remember that whole thing blowing up. Yeah, Depression Quest that's free. That's a good point too. It is a free game. Yeah, it's free to play. I've heard it's quite good. Yeah, core to the game. Yeah, exactly, because it created this whole kind of sub counterculture niche of people that said, "No one understands me. I'm so misunderstood. I'm a straight white male, and I'm so mistreated." It got weird, man. 2016 was a fucking time, and not a good time, man. I don't sleep well. I'm addicted to caffeine. I don't touch women, and I don't shower. Oh my god. By the way, video games. Hey, I forgot we were playing a video game here, and we did succeed. We successfully initiated the ritual. Intricate patterns of steps, bows, and claps. We got that shit, and the priest gave us an item. He gave us corpse dust. Oh, thanks, priest. I can use it to get experience and, I guess, permanently lose 2 luck. Ugh, I think I might just sell this. I can't ever see myself needing 20 experience that desperately. Learn more about the festival. I will ask, who are they? It's wearing strange masks. Interesting stuff. So there is no bonus quest this time. I'm thinking there might be a point where we need to discard items to fulfill a side quest. So I'll hang on to the corpse dust for now, but at some point I might just end up selling it. There's no way I'll end up using it. There's just no way. But yeah, you ever do that though? You ever find a group of robed individuals committing to some kind of seance? You help them out, and they say, "Cool, thanks for helping us out, buddy. Here's some dead guy cocaine. Here's some dead guy powder, dead guy flour," and you're like, "Oh, great, thanks," and that's your payment. unironically journalism. That, yeah, that is what Elgaso has said is a 100% accurate statement, because there was a contingent of people within the whole Gamergate thing that was saying, yeah, maybe let's try to strive for people like not paying for like higher Metacritic scores. Like, yes, that's a fine thing to strive for. But then it got out of control, and people took the wrong direction and kind of spoiled it for the rest of us, honestly. Yeah. I'm a nerd gamer, and I'm oppressed and sad. Yeah. I'm misunderstood. Won't somebody take advantage of my vulnerable state and turn me into a fucking lunatic? Is basically what it came down to, honestly. Yeah. I follow from Blizzard. Oh, man. Now, the good news about Blizzard, I did hear that it sounds like old Bobby Kotick is going to be stepping down, I think, at the beginning of next year. Unless I'm mistaken. It sounded like with this acquisition to, I guess, Microsoft being completed, that he's going to be out of the picture pretty soon. And it's like, that's not going to fix everything. In fact, it might not fix anything. But at least he's out of the picture, because he's the shitbag that has really been a pox on that company for a long time. I mean, there's really not a lot of people that have anything good to say about that guy. So at least he'll be out of the picture soon. Maybe then I'll allow myself to play Diablo again, because I do miss that series. But like, there have been times where I think to myself, maybe I'll play a Blizzard game, and I'd go over to Battle.net and I'd be like, now I'm sad. Never mind. I just, my heart's not in it anymore, just because the company's done some, some fucked up shit. Fucked up shit to their own people, right? Their own developers and shit. It's frustrating. Highly regarded product for thousands of years, ground up mummies. Is that why we don't have mummies anymore? Because all the rich people ate it? Because yeah, I heard that that was like a thing where rich people would like eat mummy meat, like mummy jerky. And like now we're like, oh wow, we don't have a lot of mummies anymore because the rich people ate it. Yeah. Does it have interruptible reloads? And number 6, does it have something I can FAP to? Don't forget about that one, Meerkat. Because I already got the corpse dust. Don't worry, Alex. Yeah, the mummy brown paint. They ate him too. Elgaso knows what's up too. Yeah, I'm falling behind in chat, obviously. The fetishized avatar character. Yeah, I know the type. I know the type, yeah. Stop using Blizzard games. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to say that people shouldn't play them. Because, realistically speaking, like, we're all just drops in the bucket, right? Like, 1 or 2 people not buying Diablo 4 or not playing Overwatch 2 isn't going to make a difference, obviously. Like, it's I'm not going to, like, try to preach to people, if you're buying a Blizzard game, you're supporting evil, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. You lose people, right? You lose people when you try to preach to folks like that. It's like, bro, I don't want to fuck with the politics. I just want to play a game and have a good time. Like, it's a personal choice. That's kind of how I see it. I'm not gonna like look down on someone and be like, how dare you play Diablo 4, you monster. Nah, it's fine. You need to play the game. You need to play games. You need to like unwind. Like, Diablo's one of my favorite series. I totally get that. So like, if you're playing with the homies and you want to jump on and like, well, gee, all my friends are playing and I want to play with them, so it's only $40 or $50 or however much it is. So I don't know. It's like I said, it's a personal thing. Canadian shows full of fetishes. I don't know. I've never heard of this, actually. I'm actually interested. I'm disgusted, but interested. Actually, I'm not disgusted at all. I'm not disgusted at all. I'm kidding. He's gonna get the boot. Yeah, I think it's confirmed. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm getting my wires crossed, but I thought I heard that he is gonna be out January 1st or sometime early next year. You can always find something to FAP to. That's what I like to hear, Meerkat. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Yeah. Everybody in ancient Egypt was mummified, and there we go. There we go. Having a good time? This is video games. What is it? Greater than symbol, implying video games were supposed to be fun. Look of the most beautiful flower patch surprises you. However, you hear weird sniffling sounds. The sniffling gardener with her extremely large nose. It's so specific. That's so fucking weird, man. The GTA games, yeah. I mean, GTA is one of those cases where, like, yes, like I think I see what Jamie said. Where like the Rockstar developers, I guess in particular, were being put through a lot of crunch. So, like in the case of Red Dead Redemption 2, like they were being put through a lot of crunch, and it made the developers miserable, and it was a tough development time. And yet, Red Dead Redemption 2 is like, one of the most purchased games ever. Spent, a lot of money has been, or a lot of copies of the game have been sold, and it's one of the most highly rated games on Steam, and all this and all that. So, yeah, there's this unfortunate reinforcing of company treats its people like shit. They make a very good product as a result, and it's this feedback loop that does become unfortunate. Diablo 4 is kind of dead right now. I mean, yeah, realistically speaking, I don't really care so much about even playing Diablo 4. I just want to be able to go back. I shouldn't say be able to, but I want to allow myself to be able to play like Diablo 1, because there's a bunch of like custom mods for Diablo 1 I like to try out on stream. Just that kind of stuff. I want to play the older stuff. I don't have as much interest in newer Blizzard games, at least. But yeah, again, that's a personal choice. Because at some point, I would like to play, like, Vice City on stream again. Like, I don't think I would feel too shitty about that one. But I would have to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, Rockstar has treated its employees like shit very recently. So by streaming this, I am kind of inadvertently supporting that. And that's, feels shitty, right? It feels shitty, but confronting it is the least I can do. She smelled me leaving. Well, she's gonna be smelling the coffee I just drank a little bit earlier, because boy do be tootin'. Smelling in 5K. Could you fit your dick in those nostrils? Elgaso, I can't fit my penis in anyone's nostrils. Too big. The nostril, not me. The nostrils are too big. Normal sized nostrils, that is. Too large. Can't fit it in there. Those nostrils are too big for me. Do you think she would lift off when she sneezes? She can hover. Yeah, she's like Mario Sunshine with the hover nozzle. But not even with liquids, just with air. Just with air pressure. Picture nose with a crowbar. Yeah, at least. At least. Grand Theft Auto Online. Oh, really? I've never heard about that, Jamie. Yeah, well, good reason I've never tried. Never gotten into that myself, and that's at least encouraging. I've never played GTA 5 in any capacity, and I have no interest in GTA Online, and that reinforces my lack of interest in GTA Online. Her snores echo. I think you meant her sneezes echo. Let's smuggle oranges up in that shit. There you go. Upper management got restructured. That's good. Being smaller, that's good. Well, yeah, so they committed to something. I mean, I hope they follow through. Right? I hope they follow through, Lime. So I'll believe it when I see it. It's hard to feel super good about it, but I'm hoping that something good could come from this. So we'll see. We shall see, but I certainly hope we get something reasonable. We're gonna flash her, and then we're going to improv a new weapon. Gonna get a broken bottle. We did dodge the attack. I'm gonna hit her with the double flash. Actually, no, I'm gonna do just a single flash. And I equip. There we go. With the broken bottle. 70% chance to hit. Stabbed her. And we dodged the attack like a boss. We're just dodging like a champ. Love to see it. Go ahead and do another flash. That's how you do. You flash somebody and then you stab them. Don't do that. Don't do either of those things. Don't flash somebody unless you have consent. And definitely don't stab them. Just in general. Could fill a pothole just by blowing her nose. Or blow open a new pothole if it's targeting a soft part of the earth. Soft part of the stone. Or pavement, that is. Package is safe in our... Oh, really, James? Yeah, that's kind of gross. Huh? Like, kind of uncomfy. What she lacks in looks, she makes up for in olfaction. Olfaction. Is that like nose action? Is that what that verb means? Offensive humor thing, yeah. Well, I think that's what Jamie's getting at, where it's kind of like the college bro humor, which, when I'm a person in my 30s, so that kind of humor, yeah, doesn't exactly resonate to me. Like, really, guys? Really? We're still stuck in that kind of vibe? But again, maybe that's just it, though. Maybe it's not really meant for people like me. Maybe it's more meant for the younger crowds, the younger, more like, 15-year-old, like, high schooler, college, like earlier college age kind of crowd. The shark cards thing, yeah, that has been very much a mess in itself because it has incentivized just continuing to kind of like squeeze the money out of people, like Irase was saying, and less incentivizing for adding new content or even making a new game for that matter. GTA 5 has been released on, what is it, three generations of consoles now? I might be wrong. Maybe it's 2 generations, but like GTA 5, it's been out for a long time, and we haven't had anything new in a very long time for GTA 6, or even a spin-off. Of course, I know they're working on something right now, which is cool, but yeah, it's been weird that for a while their GTA 6 or GTA 5 or GTA Online, I guess, and the whole supporting the online thing has been such a cash cow for them that there's been not nearly as much incentive to, you know, to do anything else. So like for a while there, it's like, are we even gonna get in a GTA game, or is it just gonna be the, all right, we're porting it to a new console and that's it, and that's all we're doing. We're not actually adding new content. This is just it's just what we're gonna do now forever. Acknowledgement from the owners of the problem. Yeah, it's something. It's something. Enigma says, we're gonna flash her. Quote, Super Hobbit. Don't stab without consent. Also, yes, I mean, if you're gonna stab someone, make sure you're stabbing with your own genitalia. Anyway, you know, it's a you know, a romantic stab with the genitals, with consent. Then you look at the original Nier, which yeah, I mean, it's clear to see which one is the more forward-facing approach, honestly. It was 2010, yeah, it definitely wasn't a matter of like, you know, a different time. It's definitely a matter of what's the developer and or publisher, like what's their priorities. And then there's South Park. South Park's a tricky one because, like, you know, for a while there, I would compare the kind of humor that I respond to with South Park humor. But then I think about some other South Park jokes and things that have happened over the years where I go, you know, some of it has not aged well, obviously. By the way, I'm gonna go for Shovel Build faux show. It's a shame because we do lose some speed, but that damage, baby, the damage is so good. So it's a lot slower. The chance to hit, I think, is... Oh, actually, no. Look at this. The broken bottle is better in every way except for damage. So it's a slower, harder to hit, more hard to hit weapon. Our strength is pretty good. This is a dexterity item, and our dexterity is not great. So hopefully it'll balance out. Hopefully. Yeah. Because I like South Park. I do. But I can't pretend that it's, like, necessarily innocent, you know, when it comes to stuff that is maybe sometimes not cool. I think they're better about it now. I think it's ever evolving, like a lot of things, you know. I've mentioned before that when Grayson and I watched the very, very first episode of It's Always Sunny, that shit came out in 2005, and when you watch it, you go like, ooh, boy, that's a rough one. We don't, like, oh, we don't say that word anymore. Ooh, buddy. Like, you know, there's moments where you're like, this was a 2005 show. It's a time capsule, right? Like, that just has to be accepted just because that kind of thing was more acceptable then. So that isn't quite as much of an issue for me necessarily, but it means that, yeah, there have been times where, yeah, there were some things that were maybe a bit spicier than I would prefer it necessarily. Everyone is terrible. Well, I mean, that's definitely how, like, the story goes, like the main story. I'm going to look for friends, by the way. No familiar faces in the crowd. None for Alex. What about anything I can click, maybe? Yeah, I know, like, the whole... Definitely for GTA 5 is that, like, the main characters are just fucked up. And, like, you know, and are bad people. I mean, I don't know so much about GTA 4. I know GTA Vice City and 3. I mean, I guess with Vice City... Well, no, actually, the more I think about it, I guess, yeah, pretty much all of them. The main characters are, like, unsavory people doing unsavory things. But I think I see what Jamie is getting at, where it's like just some of the general in-jokes are are maybe like kind of punching down in ways that aren't really necessary, don't add to anything. At least with GTA 4 and Vice City, I think. I mean, some of those games, I think, were at least telling interesting stories versus, like Jamie was saying, like the whole like weird gender reassignment surgery jokes that are being made in GTA 5. Like Jamie was describing, like, what's that adding to? It's just kind of a this is a weird thing to joke about, and it's kind of a sensitive subject. Like, why is this necessary? Like, what is this? How does this add to the narrative? And the answer is that it doesn't sound like it does. It sounds like it's just kind of, you know, a little bit mean-spirited, honestly. South Park, they had to apologize to Al Gore. Like legit, or like the funny episodes? Because I loved the Al Gore episodes. I love that shit. Alif says I'm working on a PC build. Oh really? First time in a while, he says. Windows Notepad out. Okay, yeah. Writing stuff down. Sure. Can I ask Alif what build you're going for? If it's like a certain CPU or motherboard or graphics card or like power supply? Because I can't pretend to be an expert, but I've had to go through this fairly recently myself. Yeah. The whole centrist thing, yeah. Rip on Disney for too much varied representation. Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, yeah, it's I am sometimes a bit of a fence sitter, but yeah, at the same time, I do try to recognize that, you know, I can see both sides, but there's usually one that I will at the end of the day lean more towards. I try to be, you know, sensitive in how I choose my words, obviously, but yeah, I try to like choose, or at least consider what's the right call here, because sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to navigate. Taking it to like a logical extreme, yeah. I mean, and so, like you said, some of it has aged poorly. Yeah. What's your first one 2 or 3 years ago? Took you 9 hours. Yeah. Only 9 hours? Yeah. I mean, 9 hours is a long time, obviously. I think I had something similar when I had to switch out my CPU and my GPU. That was a significant undertaking, and it shouldn't have been. That should have been a fairly small switcherino, and yet it was a whole ordeal. It was a whole heckin' thing. They actually apologized to Al Gore. I mean, I don't know. I struggle to imagine him like legit being like sad about that whole situation, because I thought those episodes were legit entertaining, and it didn't seem like it was being too mean-spirited. Maybe a little bit. I mean, maybe across the line a little bit, but he seems like he's got some pretty thick skin. He's a politician, right? He's got to have thick skin, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, going for the XT. Okay, I got you. I got a 6800 XT, so I got an AMD as well. 6 CPU, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a solid build, Aleph, for sure. But it's a lot. It's a lot to piece together. And if you're coming off of an existing build and say if you're going from an NVIDIA card to an AMD, you have to, of course, remove the old drivers. There's a specific utility that you can use that does that. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, there's like a process to take out the old drivers and put the new ones in. It's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. Team America. God, I was telling Grace about that movie. That movie is a trip, and I enjoyed that movie. I wonder how it would feel now, like if I were to watch it now. Yeah, there are some aspects of that movie that would not have aged well, but the general idea of a parody of like America policing the world is on its own kind of funny. Like just distilled to its basic elements, I think is like a funny thing to parody, but it's all about the execution. That's where it's tricky, yeah. But no, sounds like I said, Aleph, sounds like a solid build though. I'm impressed. Deciding not to get involved, it can be a political. I mean, that's the thing too. It's like a measure of well, what's it called? Of privilege. You know, the privilege of saying like, you know, I can step away from this and choose not to be involved. Like, that's nice to be able to do. Some people don't have that. You know, that ability. So that's, yeah. It's hard though to to know how to navigate that sometimes. Like I understand where people look at all the complexities of some thorny situations and they say, how can I just avoid this entirely? And I don't blame them for wishing that, for wishing how can they, you know, navigate this in the way that does the least damage and like minimizes their impact. And it's hard. It is hard. And it's like, in my opinion, like the best way to confront it is to go through it and like talk to people and have uncomfortable conversations and be willing to listen and be willing to learn. But it takes energy. It takes time. People are busy. They got their own shit they're dealing with. I don't know. I don't always have the right words to like. I don't always have the right approach to like inform someone how you're supposed to do this thing, like how you're supposed to arrive at your own answers, because like who am I to say? Like who am I to say like that they have to be more involved or they have to be more political? I don't know. It is a personal choice for a lot of folks. Yeah, new PC build, yeah. Intel, Nvidia, but I'm going Team Red. I don't know if I'd consider myself Team Red per se, like, you know, like loyal to it, but I'm trying it out so far, and it's going well so far. My prior GPU was a 980 Ti, so from a 980 Ti to a 6800 XT is a big heckin' jump. That's several generations behind, obviously. But like a lot of us, trying to find a new affordable Nvidia GPU is a foolish notion. It just doesn't exist anymore. That shit's real hard. Looking for the politics and stuff, yeah. Well, it's one thing to look for politics and stuff. It's another to like try to recognize when it's there. Because I mean, it is in a lot of places. You know, it is in a lot of things baked in. Whether it is for me or it is for other people. Sometimes it's more pronounced for other people than it is for someone like me. You know, a relatively young straight white male. Yeah, there's a lot of shit I can just kind of go, don't gotta worry about it. Whereas, you know, my wife, for instance, a I think pretty young woman, means that, yeah, there are certain situations where she has to be uber conscious of something where I might be completely none the wiser. Just those little moments where, like, I have the privilege of being looking at a thing and I go, yeah, you know, I don't have to worry. I don't have to be concerned with a certain thing or a certain aspect or a certain conversation had with somebody and it being misinterpreted and it ending up harming me in some way. Like, I can be fearless. I'm a straight white male. The world is my oyster, right? What do I got to worry about? Whereas she has had a whole lifetime of being a woman that has, you know, that's, you know, she's been taken advantage of, right? You know, she's had people take advantage of the fact that that she's a woman, and that, like, you know, people assume they can walk all over her, that kind of shit. So those kinds of experiences color someone's viewpoint on life and their expectations on how certain social interactions go, and it makes it hard to like expect. It makes it hard to like anticipate how certain things will be digested by somebody. I like Elgaso's take. Elgaso's, I've been usurped. But I mean, that's the thing though. Like Elgaso has often said, you know, he would, you know, sometimes he'd pop off a little bit, and I'd go, I'm having a hard time disagreeing. And you know, with Jamie, it's like, yeah, I see the points they're making. Where do you see the funds in this game? Down here, FND is fund, because that fourth letter is just too much. Some people just don't have the bandwidth, yeah, and that's what it comes down to so much of the time. Yeah, I just wanna. I just want to fuck around in GTA, smoke some weed, and watch some South Park. Yeah. Like not too long ago, we were having a conversation about Pantera and Dimebag Darrell, and somebody was saying like, "Oh shit, does that make me racist because I like Pantera?" And it's like, no, not at all. Like you can just vibe out to, you know, the music and it's fine. You can vibe out to the game and it's fine. Like, you know, in my opinion at least, just enjoying something that, yeah, might have some unsavory aspects about it relating to its creation or its development or even some of its characters, does not mean a person is a piece of shit for just enjoying the thing as a whole. For me, it's like not a terrible thing to enjoy something that, you know, can have some unsavory connections. Again, we were talking about Blizzard. I don't think it's a shitty thing for someone to play Overwatch 2 or buy Diablo 4. Like, I don't care. It's just, it's good. It's also good to acknowledge that these things come with some baggage sometimes, and acknowledge it and you know, deal with it however you want to, you know, resolve it and be like, okay, well, I paid money for this game, and yeah, it was made by some shitty people, but you know, I try to do good by doing other things in life. You know, the whole aspect of being a human in this world, 2023, is a matter of like a contract of like, you know, I'm a person, I'm taking up resources, I eat meat sometimes, therefore, you know, animals are dying to feed me. That's kind of fucked up, right? Like, I'm wearing clothes that were probably made in a factory overseas where there's sweatshops. Like, you know, there's all these negative things that I am feeding by virtue of being alive and doing things in society. Like, that's just how it is. But how do I deal with that? Well, I try to give money to charity, and I try to be a good person. I try to listen to my friends, help out my parents, you know, do stuff in my community. Like, I try to do things to offset the bad, and I hope I'm doing a net positive, right? Like, I hope I'm counterbalancing the shitty by doing enough good things where that karma is getting tipped towards a good scale. That's all any of us can do at the end of the day. Like, I could spend so much time trying to really keep up with the developer of every game I play, and the publisher, and the showrunner of every maker of every TV show I run, or the executive producer of every movie I watch. Avoid a Harvey Weinstein situation where I'm supporting something that dirtbag made. Like, I can try to do my best, but I know I can't cover the bases. So it just comes down to I do what I can. I try to, like, you know, recognize some battles are worth fighting, and others are just like, I'm limited. And that's kind of how I see it. That's like my own little philosophy. So I know I fell way behind in chat, and again, I don't want to get preachy or anything, but it's so much of it comes down to it really is everyone else. It's your own personal journey. That's kind of how I see it. It's your own journey, and like how to navigate this life, how to navigate the thorny issues, the political bullshit, the stuff that makes people sad, the stuff that makes people anxious and gets them mad. It's the kind of thing where it's part of living, you know, living and learning. Live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. That's, you know, a great philosopher of our time, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the Nintendo GameCube. Told me that story. Live and learn, that is. It's a good quote. Good, beautiful quote. Let's get caught up on chat here. I fell way behind. Scrolling. Also, root beer and fried rice. A curious combination, but one I respect. Slow hard drive to that. Yeah, get that MV. Yeah. It's probably an SSD, right? Solid state drive. Beautiful, man. From 1080p 30 FPS to sweet 4K gaming. Yeah. Try to avoid certain like well-known shitty authors. Yeah, exactly. Just because I love Lovecraft doesn't mean I have opinions about Lovecraft's cat. Oh boy. Yeah, that's another one right there. And we're playing a game that is very much inspired by Lovecraft. Absolutely. You spend the whole life worrying and not spending the time living. You either get busy living or you get busy playing video games or something. I don't know, something like that. Also, Heinlein's dead. Also accurate, yes. Because I killed him. No, I didn't kill him. He died of old age, I'm pretty sure. And we're all cut up. There we go. Have to take the grill pill. The grill pill. Hold on. Well, what's the grill pill? Let me get caught up here. Oops. Okay, cool. Alright, now I'm caught up. Cool. I'm all set. Boop. Click back into the games. Grill pill or the chill pill? By the way, we've stumbled upon a forgotten bookstore. Back to video games, by the way. We've stumbled upon a forgotten bookstore. Cluttered with dusty old tomes, animal bones, weird vials. Tiny man behind the counter. Is it me? Just log off for a bit. Gotcha. Okay. I've actually never heard that term before. Grill pill. I've heard of touching grass. Grill pill, as in like I'm gonna go outside and grill some, you know, go on the grill and like, you know, cook some burgers and just kind of vibe out, forget about this shit. By the way, I don't want to run out of money, because when you're out of money we learn that bad things can happen, so I'm gonna say I'm just looking, and that's it. He's dead, can't use the support for bad things. If it's any consolation, I remember reading something not too long ago about Lovecraft that said like, yeah, he had some fucked up views for sure, but there was indication that near the end of his life, he was like starting to kind of recognize like, man, maybe I was wrong about some of that stuff. Like, yeah, he had some fucked up views. And not even just the cat thing. Not even just the cat thing, but there was like other fucked up stuff. But there was like, it's not ironclad. This could be, you know, very much conjecture by other people. But supposedly, he had like kind of confided that like, you know what, maybe I'm gonna soften on some of that other shit. Two masked villagers, something awakening. I'm gonna say it's not safe here. I'm gonna continue going to the weird village, because I'm wondering if maybe less forest exploration, like maybe that's the difference. Just avoid the forest entirely and only do stuff in the village, maybe. I'm gonna question my sanity, because the last time I took the portal, shitty stuff happened, and now I got a curse. No, I don't know if that's any better. Last time we got a physical injury, this time we got a curse. What's a mental trauma? Traumatized. Less. Oh, that's not great, but we're probably not gonna have max reason anyway. So there you go. I want a grill, for God's sake. Gotcha, the Hank Hill pill. I love it, man. I love it. Enigma is correct. You're correct, Enigma. Yeah. I went back in time and did it myself. Time traveling murder hobbit. That's me. Alfred added new types. Oh my gosh. Gamers weak to grass. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. A lot of things govern our daily lives, but embracing too many things to be political. Like, or everything needs to be debated and argued. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky when it comes to, like you were saying, like mathematics, because, you know, like there's a quote that I can't remember who said it, but when it comes to things like science and mathematics, where it's like, you know, somebody can have, you know, the like the whole notion of like, I don't believe in the theory of evolution. It's like, I mean, you can just, it's like, I guess that's a personal choice, I guess. Like, yeah, you can just choose to ignore it, but that's the great thing about all this, you know, this evidence and all this scientific backing, is that that's not going away. Like, you can't just believe that doesn't exist. So it's that's kind of a situation in and of itself where like, on the one hand, certain scientific discoveries can rub up against certain religions and makes it inconvenient for them. And how do we explain this away when this scientific principle over here disproves that? And well, I don't know. To me, that's an indication where the religious folks got to be flexible and be like, all right, well, maybe this wasn't 100% accurate, but maybe this idea was still correct, and here's why. And, you know, find a way to kind of George Lucas hand wave it. Like, it wasn't literally meant that they did this. It was more metaphorically that they did this. Like, you know, just find a way to kind of smooth it over and just keep on going. If I was a religious guy, that's how I would do it. I would just kind of smooth over the details and not worry too much about the stuff. Need to read some more Lovecraft. Yeah, Lovecraft is an interesting case because, I mean, his work has influenced so much. It's all about the wrongness of, now what is that word? Miscegenation? But not cosmic horror band. That's a word I've never read that one before. Have a good night, Enigma. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. The American eugenics movement? No, I did not know that, actually, but I mean, I'm not terribly surprised. Pulled from a building. 2 menacing masked figures block your escape. Do you serve the old ones? If I say yes, I'm gonna say serve what? They're puzzled. They say sorry to bother you, and they disappear. We lost some reasoning as a result of that, but that's okay. And now it's quiet. So we never went into the forest once. Where's everybody? Now we have to find the missing people. I like how there was an option to just look at the void. Died of syphilis, who grew abusive, became abusive due to the syphilis. Yeah. Interesting. I did not know that. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. No, I did. Yeah, that's an interesting take. I'm going to. Oh, right. We learned this last time. If we rest at camp, it ups the doom counter, but is not actually is not considered an action, which is unfortunate because it looks like it would be an action. Because usually say this is a free action, but in this particular case, not so much. So we'll just explore this forest at least, because I'm trying to get a different ending. I'm gonna confront the person. It's a creepy scarecrow. Never mind. We just got experience. It wasn't a person at all, just a scarecrow. Balls deep and some WAP, warm apple pie. There you go. There you go. Last time we searched the tent, we lost brain juice. We investigated clues, and I think this is a roll. I think this is an opposed die roll. We failed, and we lost brain. We lost brain juice. It said, like, did the wolves stand up and walk on hind legs? Which is an interesting one. Idolize Henry Ford. Oh my god. Oh my god. I did not know that, but like none of this surprises me. That's fucking wild. Yeah. Yeah, I meant literal pie. Yeah. Were you thinking about the movie American Pie when he sticks his penis in the... Well, yeah, anyway. Yes. We'll just tell your mom that we ate the whole thing. Simple as that. It's almost inspiring. I think getting lost in your thoughts is bad. I'm gonna say get a grip, which is also bad. God damn it. There's nothing else we can do other than explore the forest. Or sleep and up the doom counter. But again, I don't even know if that counts as an action. What you thought was a discarded pile of clothes suddenly moves. A cloud of white powder released into the air, and now we're fighting a Kanoko gatherer? Oh, he's been mushroomified. He's been mushroomified, and now he's been turned into a mushroom zombie man's. Life-size poster. That's fucking wild. Yeah. That's fucking wild. No, I did not know this. I legit did not know this. I know I'm not exactly a huge history buff. I can't pretend to be in the know, but yeah, that's fucking nutty. Just absolutely nutty. Some beautiful fucked up facts. Time for some cordyceps? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thankfully, he's not that hard of a fight, insofar as he's not doing a ton of damage to us, and we can make him big stupid. And I'm going to with double flash. Double flash, and I think I'll also analyze him. I think I'll analyze him a little bit. 80% chance. Now, our shovel's gonna have a hard time hitting, but it does big damage. That's all the more reason for us to lower his power level. So we did dodge the attack. He's weak against sharp weapons, which we don't have, of course. Random chance of losing additional health, which is good. This man has turned into a fungal colony. A walking fungal colony. Fungal colony or a fun gal colony? Ever think about that? This and Sharkfax says, I'm unstoppable, Meerkat. Hell yeah. Meerkat says, miss me with this normie knowledge. Let me hit you with this extremely esoteric and extremely unpleasant knowledge. How's about that, huh? I can't even do the big attack. Can I do a charged up normie attack? It fucking bonked. 6 damage. Oh boy, new injury, torn muscle. Just what I've always wanted. Let's do this. I can just barely do a guaranteed hit, or I can continue to make him very sad by flashing my camera at him, turning his power level even lower, and same thing. Whoops. Or I could do double kicks. That would be... Oh, kick is 1 damage. Pitiful. Never mind. I've never actually seen that. That's so little damage. It's pitiful. Shame I can't do the strong attack. Let's see, it's 152 time. Yeah, that explains it. Too much. Too much. New injury. Broken bone. I'm just fucking collecting all the injuries tonight, aren't I? Looks like our strength went down. Less damage in combat, and now we're losing strength and dexterity. Okay, well, that's a problem. That's a major injury, too. I'm going to use... Or not use. I'm going to... They're both major injuries. Gonna heal this wound. Bloop. So now, no more medical kit, unfortunately. Usually it's minor injuries. I'm surprised this one very normal enemy is inflicting us with 2 back-to-back major injuries, which is pretty fucked up. We do have money to afford to use, of course, to heal those injuries, but it's still expensive and it's still gonna hurt. Gonna hurt the wild in this case. We could do a guaranteed big hit, but it still won't kill. This big hit is 8 damage. Or could I do 2 pretty good chance of a hit? Small attacks still wouldn't kill. So I'm gonna hope that once again I can flash him down to even worse power level. Hope that he'll miss. And hope that this will hit. See if that'll work. A new injury, torn muscle. 2 torn muscles. This guy's hit us 3 times in a row, and each of those hits has been a guaranteed major major injury inflicted. So we've been rolling so unlucky, unfortunately, with our weak constitution. In the fall of the samurai in the late 1800s. A lot of steampunk stuff. I did not know that. Japanese school backpacks evolved as a term evolved from Dutch. Did not know that. There we go. More fun facts for our brains. The beautiful thing. What else? What else can we do? Okay, now we can at least finish the job here. It's a shame he was able to hit us so much, even with this power level well into the negatives. Oh, actually, that will not kill because we're doing less damage now. Both of these have to hit, although we have, look at that, 100% chance to hit. So as long as both these hit, we're out of there. That was awful, but I actually have no way of escaping to heal myself because we have no way back to the hospital area. So all we can do is go forward and hope that this works out. The abandoned industrial building. We go inside, but now the forest is gone silent. Ain't that some shit? We're not the only one trying to stop the ritual. Special forces have raided the hideout, arresting the subjects. The cult leader stops. He says, "You're too late. Our lord is free once more." Okay, well, we got ending B, which I think we've gotten once before. But it means there's no conflict, or no combat, at least. Festival guests are still missing. Yeah, is that a new ending? I'm trying to remember if we've gotten that one already, but I feel like we have. I feel like we've already gotten that one. Crimson Moon. What's that one mean? All enemies get more power. Oh, great. So they're harder to flashify. That makes me sad. Let's see. Do we have a level? We're getting pretty close to a level, which is good. So we have several things to try to heal. We definitely don't have the money to heal all of them, but we have the money to heal at least one of them. No spells or anything like that. We do have our shovel, which is good. Once we level, I would like to... I would very much like to spend it on strength so we can get more gooder at attacking with this thing, because it is a strength-based weapon. Let's take the key. And then we will change clothes. Bloop. Go for the sweater vibes, which also has the shoulder wound on it. Very good. Then we will take a bath. Our reason is the more fucked up thing, so... oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I guess I can't go back. So we're gonna do a cold shower, cold bath, get our reason back. And no bottle of water for us, unfortunately. Or empty bottle, I guess. And then nothing in storage, I don't think. Nothing in storage. Check the telly. Earthquake in the seaside area, okay. Nothing else of note other than our creepy neighbor. Nothing weird, just the usual, honestly. And I think that we've checked all there is to check. Nothing happens there. There. Ghost gray mist. Nothing too fucked up and weird, at least. Let's go for this one. This is a mystery we've done a few times already, and in recent memory even. YouTube switched the subtitles and the video playback buttons around. I did not notice that, actually. That is good to know. Not all sharks have to keep swimming in order to breathe. That's kind of cool. Because, yeah, obviously the flow of water going through the gills. That's kind of cool. I did not know that worked that way. Same with whales and dolphin. They just do little micro naps. Good to know. I did not know that. Legit. Go to the forest a couple times for a side quest. We're going to stop by the hospital. And the pharmacy does us no good. But the hospital proper is a good thing for us to do. So I'm going to go to the doctor's office. And it costs us 2 funds. So I'll heal one of them. Because these things stacking up like this. The max reason one I'm not quite as worried about. And I don't even have a way to heal that anyway. But yeah, these injuries, these major injuries stacking up like this are not doing us any favors. Because that's really hurting our ability to damage things. So I'll spend the money on this one. Get some blood loss. Now we have less maximum stamina, which sucks. But our stamina is never going to recover fully anyway, so that's okay. And I was saying earlier how having no money is kind of a bummer. No, I can't sell that one. That does us no good. But I can sell this one. So I'll sell that one so now we're not completely poor. Having some money on our person is good because it avoids some pretty unpleasant encounters. Watch a lot of videos at 2 times speed just to power through it quicker. I respect it. I mean, that probably makes some of the people sound funny when they're talking, but it does mean you're able to kind of power through the video a little bit quicker. So, time is money after all. Ram ventilation is what it's called. I'd never heard about that. Most samurai never drew their swords in combat. Katana was more... Okay, spears and bows. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess the katana was more symbolic, maybe, or more of like for formal, ritualistic kind of purposes, maybe, and less for like actual combat. Lime says I'm a fan of micronaps. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you, honestly. I mean, I enjoy a full 8 hours sleep when I can, but you know, the honest truth of the matter is that I love my doggy. He's a sweet little fella. But he is also a small and old dog with kidneys that don't work the best. Just because, you know, he's old. 15 years old is very old. And it means he can only sleep for like 4, 5, maybe 6 hours at a time. So yeah, sometimes I have to get up in the middle and I take his ass outside. And sometimes it's hard to get back to sleep. So sometimes I only get, you know, 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And then I have to maybe take a nap midday for an hour or two. Like, you know, like you have to find ways to make yourself comfortable. So adapt to it and do the best you can. That's all I can do. Samurai or a shark? Good question. If the question is the shark outside of water, that might dictate my answer. Ascend in the water column and glides downwards so I can get big sleepies. Good to know. Good to know. Micronapping can work. Some people do polyphasic sleeping, where they don't do the big 8 hours sleep. They do like 4 hours of awokeness followed by like 1 hour of naps, or maybe it's like 6 hours of awake followed by 2 hours of napping, and they just do that forever and they never do like a big sleep. The downside with polyphasic sleeping is that it makes it really hard to do socializing, because it means they're up in like weird times of the day, and you know, it's hard to go out for dinner or go out with the homies when it's like, oh sorry boys, I have to nap for an hour or 2 hours. So yeah, it can make it awkward for sure. The life of a shark, man. Yeah, poor puppers. It's just how it goes. I mean, he's had this thing with his kidneys for as long as I've had him, which is over 10 years. Apparently, it's a pretty common thing with Malteses. He's a Maltese. It's a common thing that they have, or can have at least, and you know, it's just a thing we manage with medicine. But it just means that his kidneys don't absorb water as well as they ought to otherwise. So it means he drinks a lot of water to satisfy his boundless thirst for blood, not for blood, but for water. So it means he has to drink a lot of water, and he's a small dog with a small dog bladder. So it's just it's a matter of physics, right? It's a matter of realism there. 13% doom counter is quite good. I'm going to go to the schoolyard to get some allies. Hard to get sleep lately, and he is nervous but relaxed. I'll take you. He says, I can't do it. Tap water is tasting weird. The clouds look like heads, but they seem fine otherwise. They don't want to join. Our charisma is pretty good, but I guess not good enough. Who made those drawings? Staring at the clouds, they seem relaxed. Man, no fucking takers, man. I shouldn't, actually, hold on. What if I share a creepy story? I've actually never tried this prompt before. Share a creepy story. Visibly shaken by your story. Do you want to join me now? There we go. We got one taker. +1 dexterity. We'll take it, baby. We'll take it. You want to join? How about you? Okay. We got one. We got one new homie. One new broski. Sharks are pretty metal. They are. Some sharks do live births. Some do eggs. Some that hatch inside the mom. It was because of the more poor metal quality and resources. I did not know that, Jamie. Look at that. More fun facts. It's fun to learn because knowledge is power. Investigate the school. It's a fist fight outside of the water. Yeah, I think the shark might have a bit of a disadvantage there, slightly. Yeah, so sometimes polyphasic sleep. Yeah, I mean, it's supposedly there's things about our bodies that like expect decent amounts of sleep on the regular, and like not getting decent amounts of sleep on the regular can, cause negative aspects of our bodies or negative things to happen to our bodies. But at the same time, though, I've heard people say that polyphasic sleep can be perfectly normal and not cause any negative downsides. So it's I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer as far as like, what's the better or more healthy choice. Lime says, speaking of which, it's nearly 6 a.m. Time for sleepies. That is a late night / early morning, Lime. Thank you for hanging out, Lime. Always a pleasure to get a chill with you, bud. Some sharks are born conscious. Meerkat's got so much shark knowledge. I bet Shark Week is a good fucking time for Meerkat. By the way, free book. Yeah, I think last time we tried this one. I think we did the book. I think we definitely lit the candles one time. So if I take the book, we get an item. It's a library book. And it gets us more experience. Oh, yeah. And now I can level. Look at that. Level up, baby. Some more charisma, more riz. Fast hands, if you catch my drift. Wink. Switching items and equipment during combat. And improvise. You can throw items more gooder. That one actually does sound kind of nice, because I will eventually throw this broken bottle at something. So I will take that, and I will take strength. There we go. There we freaking go. The political conversation. No, like I said, I do welcome it. I do welcome the political conversations. I don't always have the answers, right? I don't always know how to lead a discussion. I don't always know how to, what's the moral? Like, how do we resolve this thing? Sometimes there is no resolution, right? So I don't always have the answers, but I try to, I try to encourage them, and I try to take on that, the thorny conversation topics and confront them, and not hide behind, oh, I'm just a centrist, guys. Can't we all get along? It's like sometimes you have to take these things on and roll with it, and try to be open-minded and learn a thing or two in the process. Lord knows I sure have from tonight, that's for sure. Many of those things were about sharks. Humans are more related to the common fish than the common fish are related to sharks. I feel like I have heard that one before, actually. Specialized knowledge. There you go. Midnight hour is what it's called. Yeah, people would wake up around 1. Yeah, exactly. And of course, then there's the people that, that are naturally night owls. Originally, of course, we would have had to have had some kind of night watch to alert against invaders, that kind of thing. So yeah, there's like a basis for a lot of these things, of course. Make sure someone was always awake. Yes, someone always on watch for the night watch. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, all jokes aside, I find myself agreeing a lot of times with, you know, what might be considered more extreme things that Jamie or Augusta was saying. A lot of times it's like, I have a hard time disagreeing here. So yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, it's, there's, even if I'm not always down for like the full aspect of what they're saying, like the general idea is something I usually find myself agreeing with. The Dark Hour in Persona 3. There you go. A shark riding an elephant into battle. Can they be shooting lasers from their foreheads? Maybe. Calcified bones because they evolved before they existed. There you go. Didn't know that one. Didn't know that one either. By the way, does my brain deceive me, or do we have an AI redemption from Mr. Irasi? Let's do a quick... Actually, no, let's go do this now. Let's do it now while I'm thinking about it. Is that... Sounds good. We haven't done a redemption in a minute. An AI redemption, even. Oh, I never posted the thing on Discord, did I? That's silly. I never posted the thing on Discord. I did the thing I've done 1,000 times, where I queue up the message, and then I never actually hit the enter button like a dingus. Also, I've been live for like 2 hours, but I forgot to hit the button on Discord like a doofus. Post. Yeah. Too real, man. I do that so freaking often. Okay, so let me switch over to... Actually, I can just type it in. And I think we learned last time Stable Diffusion is also available now, when it was not available for a while there. There we go. So let's see. What does Irasi have for us? Oh, I see. Yeah, that was the text. Yeah. Arc rating an elephant. Cool. Irasi, do you have any requests for negative prompts? You've probably heard the spiel before. In fact, I can show you. I can show you the spiel. So for Crayon, there's a couple things. You can have negative words if you so choose, and you can also choose a style for the drawing. You can believe that shit. So if you had a preference, if you wanted to say like, it's gonna be this, shark riding an elephant into battle against a samurai. So if you wanted to say a negative prompt was like, yeah, don't show me legs. Everything should not have legs. Like you could say, yeah, if I said legs here, that means everything will be legless, hopefully. Not Legolas, but legless. And if you wanted to say a particular filter or a particular styling, it says let the good times roll, but photo would be cool. You got it. Good times roll indeed. So we'll run that with Crayon. We'll do the same thing with Stable Diffusion. No negative prompt, just fucking let her rip. And that is what we shall do. Weed Powder, what's up, buddy? Came in to get to hang out, and now I'm high, and now I can't hide. We're glad to have you, Weed Powder. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And then there's tax reform and education reform. Oh yeah. Some of these things are so complicated. It's like I don't even know where to start with those. So, yeah, with that one, with stuff like that, yeah, reformation of systems that are not great, at least in the United States. I don't know so much about your home country live, but here, yeah, here some of that shit is real fucked up. Real fucked up. Circadian rhythms, that kind of thing, yeah. Jamie says I have a non-24-hour cycle, which is frustrating at times. I believe it. Yep, I do believe it. Shark was confirmed to give birth to a child without there being a father. A child shark, that is. Not a child human, but a child shark. Doofus is a good word. 100% agreed, Anthony. Yeah, big fan of that word. I'm also a fan of dingus. Dingus is also a fan. Is also a good word, that is. Do you like sweet tea? Like... When you say sweet tea, do you mean tea that is sweetened? Or do you mean some southern-ass sweet tea? Because I'm a southerner, technically. I'm in Missouri. I don't have much of an accent. But technically, I'm a southerner. And I do not like... Well, I mean... I like southern-ass sweet tea. Like some Georgia motherfucking Alabama-ass, like, sweet tea. Like, I like it, but it's like a dessert. It's too much for me sometimes. So, I usually steer clear of it. I like sweet things. I mean, I'm married to my wife, so I like sweet things, of course. She's a sweet thing. But like, it's too much sometimes. Like, I need to be in the right mood for it. Yeah, Pure Leaf is all right. You know, like the bottled stuff, it's okay. Not a huge fan, but it's I would prefer that than like the fucking syrupy sweet tea stuff. Yeah, the more tame stuff. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you for sure. Clone themselves by giving birth. Wow, impressive. Impressive. That's called adapt. What's the meme where it's like Bear Grylls pointing at the camera? Adapt, react, evolve. So what was the prompt for this one? It was, oh, hold on. Shark riding an elephant into battle against a samurai. We're getting a lot of samurai shark things riding elephants. I like how he's got a katana like as a tusk. I don't think it's stabbed into him. I think it's like the tusk is a katana, sort of. And here's a samurai with like a shark tail going on there. That's kind of weird. Here's a shark with like armor, samurai armor, and also a weird trunk tusk tail thing. And the samurai has like shark fin legs and a fin going down the back. This is just a fucked up elephant shark underwater. There's no samurai in view at all. Just a weird elephant shark thing. This fucking demon thing. Iced tea and lemonade, yeah? Yeah, what is that, an Arnold Palmer, I think? That's legit. Yeah, time to take some notes on these weird fucking things that we're seeing. Here's a shark and an elephant. Just hanging out. Just fucked up shark and fucked up elephant, just vibing. No samurai, no combat, just vibes. There it is. Adapt, improvise, overcome. Yep, that's the one. Just do the cold brew for some black tea. Then add some sugar. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. I like it. There's a word, it's called, what is that word? It is parthenogenesis. Here is a samurai who has an elephant friend that has a weird double tusk thing going on, and his tusk has like a samurai katana, like a sword built in, sort of. You can see the hilt. There's a bunch of other samurai buddies behind him, I guess. He's got spoons on his head. He's sitting on a stool. It's vaguely underwater. I don't know, man. There's a lot going on with this one. The AI got real weird with that one. Here's a samurai shark lad on top of an elephant that's also fusing with another elephant. Looks like a weird Siamese elephant shark. Actually, well, the shark fella is also like merging into him. I don't know. This is a weird mishmash. And then here's a samurai playing like a drum, like a handheld drum. And there's a little speaker system. And the elephant is doing a cool trick where he's got a katana in his mouth and he's about to like chop up a watermelon or something. Maybe he's tossing stuff at the elephant to chop up. Like it's IRL Fruit Ninja. And he's like, all right, elephant, chop this in half. And he's like hoisting it up for him. This is the most normal elephant out of all of them, honestly. It's on the struggle. Yeah, it's struggling for sure. It's struggling for sure, but that's part of the fun, is watching the AI bend and break and fuck itself into oblivion, trying to like mishmash all the words we put in there and just seeing it struggle. Yeah, there's some tentacling for sure. Omnivorous shark species confirmed. Really? Would have never thought sharks would be omnivorous in any capacity, but there you go. Seaweed and meats, it says. We got two samurais here. They're kind of like, I'm not sure what's going on here. They're like dancing around the shark. Swing your partner around and around, like that kind of, they're like dancing around him. Or I said shark, elephant. Same thing. Sharks, elephants, they're like the same creature. So there we go. So we got this. Oh wait, no, one more at the end. Sorry, one more at the end. Very similar, where yeah, shark samurai on top of an elephant. So yeah, not really a lot of shark versus elephant versus samurai combat. It's more sharks and elephants and samurais just melted together or involved together in some way. A lot of them are underwater vaguely, which is kind of cool. And underwater sharks, or I'm sorry, underwater elephants, is something I'm kind of okay with. It's a weird mixture, but it's something I'm down to vibe to. And then here was Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion gave us some like painted samurai photos of some weird shit. some weird, vague shark, elephant, samurai things. It's doing something. It's definitely doing something. Making a bunch of leaf, like weed leaf logos, weed powder. I respect it. It's good for something, right? Why are we doing this? So I know it's kind of hard to tell on YouTube, at least, or on other platforms, but on Twitch we have channel point redemptions where people can redeem with like certain requests. We play around with like some kind of thing. Like we have one where we have an MS Paint challenge where people send me an image and I try to recreate it. We have what we're doing right now, which is an AI challenge. We type in an AI prompt and see what happens. We have a time warp filter challenge where someone gives me a description and we try to do a little it's called the time warp scan, where the webcam scans down and locks in the image as it scans it, and it makes like a funny face sometimes. So we have like a menu of channel point redemptions on Twitch, and this is one of them that we're kind of looking at right now, at least. So I know it's kind of hard to tell on YouTube because there is no such system on YouTube. So it's kind of a Twitch only thing, but it allows us to kind of play around with stuff and kind of a nice break from the game sometimes. Yeah, ancient Japanese like paintings and murals for whatever reason. Yeah, pixel art and painted glass. Yeah, some AI has better specializations for some situations over others. Like this right here, again, like vaguely a shark, vaguely an elephant, but also shark-like properties. And over here, there's like a platypus being ridden by a metal samurai shark thing also. Like it's just a lot just vague interpretations of what might have been a shark. Here's a shark thing with like bones and katanas, and over here is a something or another. Like it really struggled in trying to make sense of any of these things. Now this is the most normal out of all of them, because here's obviously an attempt at a shark. Elephant with shark-like properties. Here's obviously attempt at a samurai with some various properties. Not sure what he's wearing or what's riding him necessarily. Not sure what's going on with his mouth or his tusk for that matter. Or his trunk or whatever this is. And why they're above water obviously, so. It's funny because I think the AI is struggling because shark riding an elephant is already hard to imagine because a shark is supposed to be underwater. So how would a shark ride an elephant is like a thing the AI is already struggling with, and then you're saying there's fighting and it's against a samurai. Like the AI is like having a hard time making sense of what we're requesting, and that's just part of the fun. So if AI is gonna take over and it's gonna ruin all of our jobs, it's gonna take all of our jobs, and it's gonna all art and all video games and all books and all music is going to be AI generated in 30, 50, 100 years, then we might as well make the AI struggle a little bit. Like, if they're going to ruin our lives, let's make them suffer while we can. And I'm okay with that. So get fucked AI is the lesson to be learned here. And there we go. Back to the games. Woo. Yeah, it's called, how do I pronounce this? Ukiyo-e? If I pronounced that correctly, I probably butchered it. Spore 2 is going to get litty with AI. Yeah, it probably will, actually. That probably is correct. The elephant in Donkey Kong. You're right, DKC 3. All the animals can swim in that one. Well, some of them, at least. It was like a tarp. Yeah, it was like a tarp construction riding the elephant for some reason. It draws better than I could. Same. Honestly, yeah, same, Weed Powder. It does a better job than I ever could, that's for sure. Let's get back to it, friends. Let's get back to it. Yeah, ukiyo-e. Again, I'm probably fucking up the pronunciation, but yeah, that's the word for that style of painting. Now we know. Now we know. Alright, so we've gotten a couple things, of course. We got the improvised upgrade, which is probably going to come in handy at some point or another. I think what I will do, we need to do the forest investigation anyway. And I don't think we ever get to investigate the forest on our own. So I will investigate the forest myself. Oh wait, that's not true. That's not true. We probably will investigate the forest. This is does it tell us which one this is? Actually, no. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, never mind. I'm getting my wires crossed. This is not the one where we are, where we're trying to. It's like a Blair Witch Project style mystery. That's a different mystery. I saw this one and it threw me off because I've never actually paid attention to this. Wish granting tree. You get a curse, but you get various bonuses. I don't know, man. We already have some pretty unpleasant negatives going on. I don't know if I want more curses. So I'll probably avoid that. Let's just investigate the forest twice to resolve the side quest. We'll just do that instead. And now we've lost some reason because the trees are making us sad. We're feeling gloomy. And then one more investigate the forest with our broski. So now the group is gathered in the forest. We don't have the ritual robes. So I will succeed in climbing it. We got some experience out of it. And there we go. So we got the forest note. That'll be useful at the very, very end. Do I want to go shopping? No, we only have one funding. It's just not worth it right now. The Doom counter's doing okay. We've resolved one mystery already. And it's less than 20%. Like, as it is, we're probably about 1/4, maybe 1/3 the way through the current investigation. By the way, we found 2 chopped off heads, which is fucked up. Do we research notes? Do we call the police, or do we do nothing? Let's check the notes. We failed because we don't have very good knowledge. Actually, no. Yes, we do. 8 knowledge is pretty good, honestly. Ramblings of a madman have made us feel sick. We lost more reason. Gosh darn it. Our brain continues to hemorrhage knowledge and comfort and not feeling sad. Check on the neighbor. Yeah, kind of never wants to hang out with us beyond that one side quest. Well, I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair. You're already here. We sure are. Investigate the apartments. What do we got? Do we got indeed? Right. Okay, more stamina. Or stamina in this case. Okay. We lost them. So, the Venetian Society. I don't think these are the people that try to steal our liver or anything. This is something else. It's like the people that try to steal your flesh if you're poor. Either your flesh or your sanity. Okay, it's this one. I think this one we said... What did check the bathroom do? I think that's a roll for... luck, I think? A roll for knowledge, okay. We just lose some stamina. I think the other one was you lose reason. And it was like guaranteed losing of reasoning, so... Not a great resolution there, but it's a less bad one, I think. Venetians because they're blind. Very good. Very good. Elephants can swim. That makes sense, actually. That makes sense. They can stick the trunk above water. That's a good point, too. Yeah. I feel like I've seen, like, a National Geographic thing that showed elephants, like, kind of doing their version of dog paddling through water. Or I guess elephant paddling. Whatever you would want to call it. Go to the hospital. Again, money is kind of an issue right now, and I... have really no way of selling things to make money right now. I wish we could go to the graveyard and use our shovel to unearth some graves and see if we can find some trinkets there, because we are low on the dollars right now. They're really good swimmers, yeah. Yeah, slow swimmers, but if they can live through it, that's what's up. If we had the paranoia curse, we'd be able to talk to them. But instead, we tried charisma and it didn't work. And then they beat the shit out of us. So, great. Great stuff. I'm going to go home and take a nappy nap because we are getting the shit kicked out of our brain and our bodies. I was doomed to enter. We can get unique items, you say. I think I will just take a sleepies. I think that's what I will do. Just one. Get us to a pretty good amount of stamina and reasoning. Let's get downtown vending machine. Like I said, we only have the one fund. It's not worth it right now. Just not worth it. And then we get this guy. We've seen him before. Yeah, do we follow? Do we call the police? Do we do nothing? Let's do nothing. Oh, we still lost stamina. Yeah, I was thinking, like, what can I do to not take some kind of damage? So many events are... You do nothing wrong, and you... Or even if you Even if you like succeed a roll, you still lose something. You still lose stamina or reasoning, and it's just kind of constant. It's kind of hard to get out of that, unfortunately. Back to the village this time. Looking for the professor. Smell of blood means there's something wrong, though. Look for useful items or look for clues. Let's look for useful items. We succeeded. Grab the nearest item and flee the crime scene. We got an energy drink. Dexterity for the full mystery, which is nice. Or we could sell it for money. Oh, no, we can't. We can't sell shit. Never mind. That's disappointing. Our dexterity is not great, although I don't know how much help that's going to be, honestly. But it's something. See a dog chewing on something in the distance. It's chewing on a human bone. It's the evil good boy. A twisted doggy. Right, well. We still have our cool camera. And our lucky earrings. Can't forget those. He does 2 damage against stamina. He has 23 HP. How much damage do we currently do? 8 damage, but 50% chance to hit is not the best. We do a guaranteed 8. It's a bit of a gamble. It's a bit of a gamble here. What if I do big flash? And then I'm not sure if assessing is going to help really. I can't do anything else, it seems. And so I will assess. So that's really all I can do. Double flash, assess. He did bite us, unfortunately. But we didn't get an additional injury. No major or minor injuries yet, at least. No special skill, weak against sharp things. And, yep, corrupted by the old god. No surprise there. I will do a single flash then. And I will double focus, and I will do an attack. And I still got... Oh, I got the exposed ribs injury, which is not great, but our max stamina is already fucked as it is, so who cares? We're in pretty rough shape. Really not much I can do here. Because our chance to hit is so low. I'm gonna go all in on stunning the fuck out of him. And just hope that I make it to the point where he just can't hit us. He jumps at us, he succeeded. Please. I'm just like desperately trying. Because I just can't outdamage him. The least I can do, or the best I can hope for, is to make him just unable to attack us. Okay, we're dodging. Okay, good. So I'm going to continue this. And also continue to keep up damage. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, well, I think we're just dead. We can win the combat. Like, we can win this fight. But I have no way of healing my stamina, unfortunately. So we're just going to auto-die. I can raise dexterity up. Yeah, unfortunate. And even with negative 50, he's still able to hit us pretty consistently. He's only missed twice, I think. He's missed twice and he's hit twice, so it's an unfortunately good track record for him. 8 damage yet, still won't kill. So I'll do the same thing. I will do flash, and then focus, normal attack. Dodge the attack. Okay, yeah, so negative 60. Now he's actually having a hard time hitting us. Prepare, big attack. There we go. Resolve combat, but we are dead. We are dead, unfortunately, because took too much damage. We had no way of healing. So to be clear, new events, new enemies. Yeah, I was curious if there was that one instance when we got like a new timeline or a new ending encountered. New events and new enemies. It says no new achievements. So yeah, I think that means we didn't get any new endings. Yeah, if I go back, if I check extra, like the encyclopedia for events. I want to look at the endings more specifically. Go back. Here we go. Because we did... Wasn't the scissors one? But it was a festival, yeah, when we were too late. So we had already gotten that one, yeah. So I really don't know how else to get the ending C. Also, we've yet to even have the perilous parable of the peculiar painting. Same with the Morbid Mermaids. We haven't done that one. Household Hell, we haven't done that one. Wordless Word. Some of these we might have to unlock, actually. Like we haven't done it because we don't have it available to us yet, maybe. Noisy Nails, Medusa Metamorphosis, yeah, a whole bunch. This one, I guess, is very much still locked. Gosh darn. Whole bunch, man. Whole bunch. I like it. Kinda curious about achievements. We've gotten a number of them. Defeat a human enemy in one combat round, we got the Blood Frenzy, that's a good one. Defeat something truly evil, we got the Witness Curse, which is nice, but also has some pretty rough downsides. City Planning is good. That's actually a very good one, because we got that at the start. The World of Horror backstory, yeah. Lose your playthrough due to Doom. We've lost due to Doom and Stamina, and I think Sanity, too. Yeah, win a playthrough. Pain medication. Experimental drugs. Roll a 1 during a stat check at the Hermit. So yeah, so some of these you just kind of unlock just by virtue of just playing the game. T-Rex hunted a tusked mammoth. Elephants are pretty nimble. I believe it. I mean, they got a lot of mass. So, they could probably fuck up a T-Rex. Yeah, I kind of don't doubt it, honestly. This is a roguelike, yeah, and roguelikes are, like, from like the classical definition of a roguelike, games that are like Rogue, you're expected to die a whole lot. And yeah, we've never won an honest-to-goodness normal run in this game. Like, we've done the extracurricular activity, that's at a lower difficulty level, and you only have to do 4 challenges instead of 5. 4 mysteries, that is. Whereas Quick Play, you know, it's, of course, a random starting configuration, random character, random god, but it is on the standard 5 mystery setup and with a cultist level difficulty. So that's like the classical World of Horror experience, and it's normal difficulty, so to speak, and yeah, it's really tough. It is really tough. I want to keep going, I really do, but I will be honest, I can actually feel myself getting pretty tired, and I have to get up at a reasonable hour tomorrow morning. So I think I might go and wrap up the stream here. I know tonight's stream is kind of weird because it was a lot of talking. It was a lot of talking and not a ton of gaming. I usually try to lean on the side of, like, keep talking, or keep gaming, rather. You know, I try to keep things rolling. But the conversations were interesting. Like I said, I definitely learned things. And I try to keep open to new perspectives and things, and you know, try to recognize that, you know, Alex, you have a stream, you have not a very large one, but you do have a audience, so, you know, there's like kind of an expected responsibility, and how do you use that influence to, like, guide people into constructive conversations in such a way that is, you know, a positive thing, you know, a positive force for good. So, you know, I try not to avoid it, but at the same time, I try to find that balance of keeping the game going, but keeping the conversation and keeping up with chat. It's hard to keep all those plates spinning. It's hard to juggle all those chainsaws and landmines and babies. But it was good. It was a good time. A lot of talking and not a ton of gaming isn't weird. Well, it's also not unusual for me, unfortunately. It's very much a thing that I for better or for worse, I do frequently, where I get sidetracked and I get distracted, but that's okay. I know I'm not the only streamer that does that. It's a very normal thing. By the way, like Jamie pointed out, it is time for a raffle, my friends. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate Rossi and Jamie and Orgasso and I know Limes over here earlier, and, you know, people that were contributing to the interesting conversations. I do appreciate that a lot. And yeah, we are going to do a raffle because we have exactly 1 Steam key for World of Horror to give away tonight. And we're going to raffle off that ticket, or that Steam key, right the heck now. So, once again, for anybody joining late, or if you've been lurking and you're chillaxing right now, and you want to get in on the giveaway for World of Horror, it is 500 channel points to get in on this biznatch. Is that a thing that people say, biznatch? Business? In this business? 500 channel points gets you in on the raffle. We only have 1 Steam key. Go over to webcam mode, so it's obvious we're not playing the games anymore tonight. Give me a second. I need to assemble all the names because we've had about 15 people. 15 people express interest in this particular giveaway. Some of which are, of course, very familiar names. Very, very good. Jamie says, I do want to copy the game. Yeah, it's a very good game. It's a very good game. Totally understandable wanting a chance of this thing. It's pretty sweet. You know, we did a giveaway not too long ago that had like 50 entries. There we go. It was a lot. It's a whole lot. So this one is quite meager in comparison. 15 is not a crazy number. One tricky thing, and this is something I'm still going back and forth on, is I had somebody reach out to me not too long ago. Basically, like, I don't know if accusing is the right word here, but theorizing, like, hey man, I like, you know, they were saying like, hey man, I do giveaways on my stream, I'm a streamer myself, and they were like, I noticed that there's like a number of people that get in on, like, suspiciously on a lot of the giveaways, like they're always there, and they never chat, and they all had like, you know, their like channel creation date was suspiciously around the same time. And like, you know, I have no evidence, I have no proof that they're bot accounts, but like it's sus. Like it's sus that they might be bots. And he was like, just a heads up, like here's the screen names that I think are sus, and like, you know, and I'm like, I don't know what to do about that. Like all I can do is make it inconvenient for the people that like run multiple accounts, because it's such a manual process, right? Like, because you have to watch the stream, you have to get the channel points, you have to enter the entry that, like, or redeem the entry, then you have to log out of that account, go for a different one, and do the same process with that account, build up the channel points. Like, it just seems like so much of a process. All I can do is make it not inconvenient enough that it like makes it hard for legit people to get into the entries, make it reasonable enough for real people, but inconvenient enough for people trying to, you know, scam streamers out of giveaway keys. It'd be one thing if I had like 30 Steam keys to give away, or like 10 or 20, but like just 1 or 2 in some cases. 3 was the most we've ever had last night, and that was nice, but, or I guess 2 nights ago. That was a nice thing, but that was very much not the standard. So, but again, like I just kind of have to accept that there's the chance that, yes, some folks might squeeze through. You know, there's maybe some of the people that have won these giveaways have been scamming me and have been, you know, utilizing multiple bot accounts, and I've been none the wiser. You know, what else can we do about that, right? Because like the second you try to like accuse people without really much of a leg to stand on, it can very quickly blow up in your face. So just the unfortunate reality of the situation. Yeah, for the smaller, that's the thing too. They're like small little indie games. I'm not like giving away deluxe copies of like Tears of the Kingdom or anything. You know, a $90 game with like, or the deluxe fancy collector's edition thing. Like that's a, you know, $12 game, $15 game on Steam. So it's like, seems like so much trouble for so little gain. And it's raffle tickets for a chance at winning a game. It's not even like a guaranteed thing. So kind of silly, honestly. Can search giveaways. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, in my defense, I have the tag giveaway set, so I do make myself easy to see. In a way, I mean, I want to draw people that say, oh shit, I can win a copy of this game? Hell yeah, I want to watch this guy. Like, you know, I want to bring that energy, but not the people that are, again, going very much for the, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna scam this motherfucker. So, you know, again, it's so much the lesson of tonight's discussion is, yeah, what's the correct answer? And unfortunately, it's hard to know. But what we do know is that we got 15 entrants, and yeah, spin this fucking wheel and see who's gonna win this thing. 1 copy of World of Horror. Who is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Jet? Oh shit! It's gonna be Mr. Jet Dive. Now, Jet is a person. I'm grateful that if any of the homies were to win this game. Other than Jamie, yeah, I'm sorry, Jamie. If of any of the homies that would have won this, I'm grateful that Jet is a person that won a game like this, because Jet knows Japanese, lived in Japan for like 6 months, and is very much entrenched in Japanese culture, and he streams. So I suspect that Jet will be able to do some pretty cool stuff with this. So, like, you know, I wish everybody would be able to win. Obviously, like I wish Jamie could walk away with a copy. Wish I wish, like Meta Sniper, that's a name I recognize. Master Train, like, there's a lot of people here we recognize. Flechette, obviously, Auto Exact, like, I want everyone to get a key, obviously, but like, no, it's fun that Jet Dive got this, because this would very much be up his alley. I don't know how much he is into horror games, per se, and like Junji Ito and Lovecraft. I don't know if that's really his vibe, necessarily, but yeah, the Japanese culture aspect this would very much be up his alley. Yeah, 6.6% chance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I said, I still feel bad about the stream the other day when I realized in like it was like 45 minutes of the stream, I was like, oh shit, we're gonna do the giveaway tonight. And I tried to hype it up as much as I could, but only 3 people got raffle tickets, and I had 3 Steam keys, so I was like, all right, everyone that enters gets a key. Like that, I felt bad that I didn't manage that very well, because it screwed other people who were here earlier a chance of getting a key, such as Jamie. So I feel like I owe an apology for maybe not handling the previous giveaway the best. But again, we're learning, right? We're learning how to run these things, learning how to run the show, and just gotta learn the lessons and do better with future giveaways and future stream activities like this one. It is an ever-evolving process, and that's kind of how I look at streaming. As streaming as a whole is a process I will never solve, so to speak. Like, I'm always trying to think of ways to do my commentary better and interact with chat better and keep up with chat better, especially now that I'm managing 4 chat windows. No, actually 5 chat windows now. Means it's harder for me to keep up with chat now that I'm multi-streaming to 5 platforms. And having the stream quality be good, and the audio and the game selection, that's a huge thing too. And running giveaways, like, there's always things I want to improve, and it's a good thing. It means I'm always being kept on my toes. I can never just sit back and I got streaming figured out, I can just rest on my laurels. Like, I can't do that. Like, I'm always thinking, I'm always unsatisfied. I'm always like, I can do better. I know we can do better. I know we can have a better show. We can run the stream smoother, make a better experience. And it's a good thing, because it means I'm like relentless self-improvement, right? Like, I'm always working on that. So it's a cool project. It's cool that I have this fun hobby that is creative. I think it's creative and raises money for charity. Like, that's a huge thing that we're all about here. Obviously, I got the shirt. Can't see it right now because there's stuff in the way, but I got the Extra Life shirt. That's what's up. So, we're all about charity here. And it's fun. I'm playing video games. I get to hang out with some cool folks and chat with some friends. But also there's this element of like it's a thing I'm working on. Instead of having a garage full of cars I'm working on, or even a garage full of computers I'm working on, like computer hardware, I've got like a stream that I'm always trying to refine and like improve and what's like the word for it? I don't know, just hone, trying to hone that skill set all the more gooder. It's a new content. Yeah, it is. And we've been doing it for like a month or 2 now, so it's not that new, but yeah, it's the tricky thing is that some of the games have widely and wildly different styles of challenges that unlock giveaways, the different dares we're striving for. So that makes it tricky too. But anywho, as far as raid targets go, the guy who voiced Two-Face in BTAS, I should probably know what that is. Oh shit, I can't remember. But anyway, Richard Mole is the person's name. And I should probably know what BTAS stands for. Face. Oh, Batman. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. Oh, the Batman villain. I gotcha. That is unfortunate. I'm sad to hear that he passed away. He probably did other voice roles too, for that matter. Earlier stream days, yeah, that is always a good thing to consider too, right? Like, sometimes I look back at the old days and I cringe a little bit, but we were talking about this not too long ago. The feeling of cringing at your cringy past is a sign that you've improved, and recognizing that you're improved from those cringy older days. So I try to lean into that. Try to lean into the more positive aspect of it. We are gonna raid. By the way, we're gonna raid out to another streamer friend of ours. It's maybe disingenuous to call this person a friend. I like her content a lot. I don't think she gives a shit. I don't think she knows who I am, nor does she need to. I'm just some bro. I'm just some homie playing some games and chillaxing. But I like her content a lot. Her name is Seriously Clara. She is a streamer, but she is also she works for Devolver Digital. She is one of her streamer outreach people, which is how I get introduced to her content. And it's interesting because I follow her on social media, and she has a lot of interesting kind of behind the scenes, working in the industry viewpoints and perspectives that I'm not privy to because I don't work in the industry. I'm a software developer that works very much outside of game development and game production. It'd be cool to work in it, but it's just not a thing I'm in right now. So, you know, you get like some interesting takes and some, like, she's not like sharing trade secrets or anything, but like the stuff that she shares is insightful and interesting. And again, she also works with streamers, so that aspect of it is also very much constantly in her face and in her 9 to 5. You know, that's how she earns a living. So yeah, no, I like Clara. I like her streams, but I like also her insight into the gaming world and the streamerverse. So it's cool. It's cool stuff. Yeah, Animated Cartoon was a solid series. Animated series, some good stuff, man. It was Bull and Night Court. Man, I had no idea. No fucking idea. But yeah, Devolver Digital, good fucking publisher. Good fucking publisher who does some great shit, and also fucking fearless. Like, I can't remember what it was. There was some kind of game that they were peddling. You know, some kind of game that was coming out. And somebody was like, wow, saying something bad about Nazis? Jesus, that, you know, this woke bullshit in the Devolver Digital account. The Twitter verified account was like, blocked? Get the fuck out of here. Like, I can't remember what it was, but it was like, they said something about how, like, hey, maybe punch a Nazi in the face, and somebody got offended, and they were like, fuck you. On the Twitter verified account. It's like, yeah, that's nice to see. Because, again, we were talking about this earlier, like, some companies like, we care about everyone's feelings. We don't want to make anybody mad, as we can all be ooh-woo cozy together. And Devolver Digital's over here, like, being like, yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. We're gonna have opinions. We're gonna flex it. We don't give a shit. So I like that boldness. And like I said, they make cool-ass games too. So what's not to like? But anyway, so we're gonna raid out to those not watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or Trovo, you're probably like, what the fuck is this raiding thing? What the hell is gonna happen? So on Twitch, we're raiding a friend of ours. Or again, I shouldn't say friend because I don't think she knows who I am. But I like her content at least. We're gonna raid Seriously Clara. I'll see you guys there. And I will post my socials page as well. I should do that more often. Get my socials linky dinky in there. The linky has been dinkied. There it is. Post that on YouTube as well. And yeah, that is going into... That has my Linktree page, so it has all of my social pages, of course. It has my... Here, I'll post that in the Facebook chat too. It's got my Facebook, it's got my social media, so Instagram, it's got TikTok. It's got my YouTube channels that I maintain. I have a main channel that I'm streaming to right now. So my main channel on YouTube is what I'm streaming to, as well as posting compilation videos and shorts. And then I have an archives channel that I update once a day, one video a day on the archives channel. And it is full stream segments with very few edits. It's pretty much just long form, long play content, including tonight's World of Horror content that will go on the archives channel. And yeah, that is the story, my friends. Gonna raid Seriously Clara. I'll see you guys there. Thanks again, friends. No stream tomorrow. Almost assuredly no stream tomorrow because I'm gonna be busy doing family stuff in the afternoon, and then in the evening I'll be going to a Halloween party hosted by the Game & Browse folks. I'm excited. Aaron, aka Game & Browse, he's been popping in and hanging out with us a whole lot. Really nice dude. Him and his wife are super cool people. I got to meet them a couple times at some conventions over the past couple years, and they're just always delightful. And they were honestly, it was like super sweet of them to invite me to their house for a Halloween party. Like, they didn't have to. They didn't have to do that. Like, that was not an expectation, but, you know, like, Aaron messaged me. He was like, hey, man, really appreciate getting to chill with you. And if you want to join in on this Halloween party, here you go. Here's the address. And I was like, man, that's super cool. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyway. Thank you again, friends. I'm going to see you over in Clara's chat. What am I wearing? I'm going to wear my Hobbit costume. I'll post a picture at some point. But yeah, I have an actual Hobbit costume that I have worn on stream. I've worn it on stream, and it's funsies. Because it's like a Renaissance fair, basically. It's like a Renaissance fair Hobbit costume. It's good. In my biased opinion, it's good. I'll see you around, friends. Good night. Thanks again. Appreciate you. Good night.
的情话不想逃，得到是一毒药。
You magnificent bastard!
Hello,
I salute
Super
you.
Hobbit. How are you doing? Anyone who's just joining us, hello. My name is Clara. I play indie games. Tonight's indie game is like a 3D forager. The bee! The bee! The bee! The bee! Oh, we did it! We got the second bee.